And what is up? Welcome back. It's Friday night and you're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, Trigger and my boy Brian D from New Jersey. What is up,
Jersey?
Jersey. What is up, guys? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, so we're real quick, we'll cover this real quick. Triggs is in a thunderstorm up in Austin, so he's been kind of having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he will be keeping his pants on. And the rest of the episode will go real good. Okay.
No guarantee.
It's actually super funny. I'm actually not wearing pants right now.
All right. Before we get the conversations going, boys, how's everything been going? See, Brian's got his red Solo cup. Trig's got some type of alcohol in the background. It's gonna be a normal Friday night again. What's up? What's up? How's it going, Rob? It's nice to see you, brother. Nice to see you as always, man. Let's hope for no storms tonight. No, man, I love storms, dude. I love storms.
Dude, I hate storms, bro. Storms, dude. You know what ended up happening? Okay, so you know how last week I told you that like I had a really, really bad thunderstorm that was like rolling through, and like you guys got hit with the hail and shit like that last week. All right, so no shit. That Thursday, I think, going into Friday, or Friday going into Saturday. So we ended up getting a really, really bad thunderstorm again, like hailstorm, thunderstorm again here over in my area. Dude, no shit, it flooded my carpet, like all the way damn near to my door.
Man, Austin looks like a fucking tsunami hits it every time they get some type of like little weather,
dude. And I have no idea how. I mean, like, Jesus Christ, dude. I had less flooding happen when I lived in McAllen than I did in Austin.
It's wild, man. Every time I see pictures, it's like everybody on the second floor is dealing with flood damage. Everybody on the first floor is dead, drowning and shit. It's wild,
dude. Well, I know shit for the past, I want to say 5 days, have been going with like 20 buckets each on like my sister's wet vac. I have been using that shit non-stop.
Yeah, just sucking everything out.
Just getting everything out of the fucking carpet, bro. And it has been a bitch lately. Well, and now I'm finally at a spot where it's not so bad. But still, dude, like dude. This is, I think, the first day where it doesn't smell like mold anymore.
Well, Wilden, as a matter of fact, last week, right after the show, McAllen got hit with a fucking crazy thunderstorm that fucked us all up.
Yeah, dude, I know. One of my friends lost internet. Like, no shit. Him and I were gaming, and he was like, "Hey, man, if I happen to like lose power right now, like move my stuff." And so, like, literally, as soon as he said that, all you hear on Discord is bing. And I was like, oh, shit.
Literally everywhere, because last week we were blessed to have, it was South Texas Comic-Con weekend. So we were there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, McAllen Convention Center, bunch of people, super good days. What happened was Friday night, that thunderstorm came in, and it started the whole entire area around the convention center.
Oh, yeah, dude, I heard that it was bad, man.
Yeah,
bad over there.
Saturday, people that didn't get hit so bad with the thunderstorm were showing up early morning for the convention at like 9-10 o'clock. The lines were getting long, so then everybody started to panic, and everybody came to the convention because they think they were going to get a better, I guess, stance in line or something. But the convention, the city officials and the fire marshals were not allowing anybody in the building above, I think like 500 people were only allowed in the building at a time. And the line was, it was hard, man.
Yeah, dude, I heard. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I heard that Ramsey had a pretty tough time dealing with things.
It was. Shout out to Ramsey Ramirez. I got to talk to him after the show Sunday, and man, I'm so proud of him on the way he handled the situation. He did it like a stud, man.
Brian, I heard that he did the best that he could. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that he did the best that he could. You know.
I mean, the thing is the electricity was out in half of the convention center. So one half of the convention center is on one part of the grid, and then the other part of the grid is on another part of the convention center. So half of the convention center only had electricity for a good while. And then the city told everybody in McAllen, you're pretty much going to be probably without power till about 10 o'clock p.m. that day, Saturday. And, they were trying to let people into the convention. People's cell phones were acting up. There was no Wi-Fi. So some of the vendors couldn't even use their like card readers that have to be connected to the internet.
Oh, so, yeah.
It was while the ATMs weren't working, so people couldn't even pull out money. So there were people that, it was just
I'm sure there was a lot of tension and stuff like that.
The natural disaster was pretty rough.
Yeah.
A lot of trees were upturned in people's houses, and including the area
stations and shit like that. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. I know it looked bad.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. of course, there was a lot of people that came out and started spreading a lot of hate and, trying to act like their shit was ruined or whatever, and, trying to take it out on the convention. But yeah, they pulled through. Sunday was astronomically an amazing day. A lot of people showed up, awesome costumes, you name it, they got it, man. It was a successful event.
I heard that a lot of the guests, they ended up staying because of that. They were like, we're going to extend out because we know like this is just super unfortunate, and we'll just stay an extra day and shit like that. So they were super. I heard that they were super cool about it.
Our boy RJ Mitty got invited for South Texas Comic Con, got to meet a lot of people, and that was like a big push for me for several years.
Got to see Mr. Giancarlo Esposito again, dude. I saw that little panel, man. That was pretty cool, man.
And he went out and did like a whole ass like fucking
I am, we will, speech. Yeah, dude, yeah, man. I felt inspired.
I like life and shit, like just trying to inspire everybody to do some nice shit. It was good, man. It was good. Overall, a fantastic weekend. We were fortunate enough to be, I live in a trailer park. So our houses, I thought we were going to get fucked because it's like a tin can.
Well, dude, last time we had a really bad storm, like during the freeze. I mean, you guys were like without power for like days, dude.
Yeah. The valley is not prepared for normal fucking weather that everybody else has to deal with. Because we only know one speed, and that's 100 degrees. Yeah, that's it. Just 100 degrees with minor winds or whatever.
Dude, so, and fucking now Brian looks crisp on his fucking camera.
I was gonna say,
dude.
Brian, I told him,
dude, you look,
camera, man.
Fucking dude. I'm talking 3-piece extra crispy dog shit.
Dude, looking sharp, sharp. So Brian, biscuit. What about you, man? I had a crazy weekend because of South Texas Comic Con, but you got the opportunity to go see Guardians, and you got to chill out and do some cool stuff. Tell us about your weekend, man.
Dude, my week was regular. I got sick at the end of it, so I kind of feel for Triggs right now. But I'm feeling better, so I'm good.
Nice, dude.
Ready for the weekend. Happy Cinco de Mayo for everyone out there.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah. Well, everybody celebrates Revenge of the 5th or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but
I'm feeling 22.
I celebrate Star Wars all year long, so I don't need no extra day. If there's anything that I loved out of May the 4th yesterday was Carrie Fisher finally got her square.
She finally got her star. And was it Billy Lord, presided over it, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, so it was a beautiful thing to see that Carrie Fisher finally got her star on the Walk of Fame. Highly deserved, much deserved. And her daughter gave her a really beautiful speech. And it was cool, man. It was cool. Other than that, pretty normal week. And here to talk to you guys about the shit that happened during the week. I mean, it's kind of chill. I mean, there's not really too much. I mean, I feel like it's not as fucking hype except for, Guardians of the Galaxy drop. I haven't been able to see it. I'm probably gonna go see it this weekend.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna try and go see it this weekend as well. I'm kind of hurting for money at the moment, but I'm gonna kind of scrounge away a little bit.
You hand jobs in the parking lot of Walmart, boy.
Shit, man, $20, dog. Shit, that's enough for a ticket.
I'm starting early. Dude. Start throwing fucking pop shots at people and shit.
Man, Brian, chill out with them pop shots. I got him.
Got him. Brian got to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, but I did. We're gonna get his honest review a little bit later in the show. We're just gonna cover some little things. One thing I wanted to talk about super quick off subject. Guys, are you excited for the Flash movie? Just off the top of your heads.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I am.
What about you, Triggs? You excited for
it?
The
Looks
Flash
good.
movie?
You know what, man? I am. Mm-hmm. I am because I really, really enjoyed Flashpoint. I know that it's only gonna pick and choose like the aspects from Flashpoint, so I'm not gonna get a true depiction of it, which is okay with me. But yeah, dude, I'm excited to see, Mr. fucking Keaton again. I'm excited to see Sasha Chell, I think is her name is. Is the new Supergirl or Superman, however you want to talk to her. And
or Supergirl, what is it? I thought it was Supergirl.
Well, I mean, she's taking the place of Kal-El. Yeah. So, I mean, unless they call it Kara Zor-El or, whatever.
Subject Zero.
Yeah.
I heard the wildest thing this weekend, and it made me think. Do you think that movie's going to be so good you're going to forget all of Ezra Miller's crimes?
Absolutely not.
We talked about this. We talked about this, bro. Like we talked about it for like 2 weeks in a row, bro. Like I'm telling you, there is a possibility where people are going to forget about the bullshit, and he is still going to be loved and hired,
dude. But one of the guys, like the producer of the movie, or like the fashion designer or something, came out and was like, "You're gonna love this movie so much, everyone's gonna forget about all the stuff Ezra Miller did."
All right, so if we don't want to speak in absolutes, right? Let me ask you this question: is there a world where you can see him surviving this? That's a better question.
Yes,
most
so that's the part that has me a little bit upset about it.
Yeah,
like regardless of whether or not he gets hired after this, the fact that if I ask you that question, you're like, damn, I do see a world where he kind of pulls this off. It's a little bit weird to me. Especially with everything that like Jonathan Majors is going through right now.
Yeah, because that's kind of up in the air and quiet right now. It's a lot of people are keeping it under wraps. The last thing that we heard is, his advertisement and his production team left him, or management team left him. So it's really, really quiet. But I thought it was so wild to actually hear someone from their team like openly, confidently be like, dude, this movie's so good, you're gonna forget about it. Everyone's gonna forget about it. And it's like, yo, he held up Hawaii, dude. Like, he literally like had children in a basement and grooming and all this. There's some really horrible things. I think what's even crazier is you can look on Google. You can actually find people that have timelines of everything that this fucking dude did, like in a whole entire year. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the stuff that Jonathan Majors, from what's been told, it's pretty bad if it comes out to be true, but still protocol. Like I always say, there's, steps to be followed. But Ezra Miller's pretty much fucking, I mean, we can all agree that he's done all this horrible shit. And I really don't think that there's a world that people are just going to be like, you know what, Ezra, you played this part so well. Don't worry about it. Here's your get out of jail free card. I want to believe that there's not a world like that. That they just say, hey, man, you know what? You did a good job. Thank you very much, but we still cannot work with you. What do you think the odds of that happening are?
With this particular production,
right? Like,
you already know my answer. You already know my answer.
Yeah, with this particular production, like, yeah, dude, like, I've said this once and I'll say it again, dude. If they keep on Ezra Miller after the Flash, whatever DC produces after that is to me not even just tarnished, not worth watching.
Right? But even if it slaps, even if this movie slaps, you still even if it
yeah, but it's slapping has absolutely that's apples and oranges.
Brian's like,
that's apples and oranges. No, and this is
listen. I'll be honest with you. I'm talking my shit, but if this movie is good, I may be like, fuck Hawaii. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. I'm keeping for $3 in a camel. All right,
I'm keeping it real.
Office numbers, Hawaii.
I'm keeping it real. I'm just keeping it real.
No, that would be the greatest fucking red carpet.
What would Dog the Bounty Hunter say?
I got no family in Hawaii. They're gonna be just fine. They're gonna.
Can you imagine that shit? Can you imagine that shit if like Ezra Miller was like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna have the grand opening red carpet in Hawaii.
In Hawaii. I do see a world where he survives this, and honestly, I wouldn't have an issue if it was the same across the board. Like I just feel like it's not an even playing field. No. And for whatever reason it is, you can have your own conversation with yourself about that. But either way, I just think that it just needs to be even across the board.
I want to address the elephant in the room in this situation, right?
Oh, but not for an hour, dude, because we did that last time.
No, not anything crazy. But I want to ask this because it's something that's important, especially to us, minorities and shit. Like, do you think that this is because of like a privilege thing? I don't want to use a distinct thing in the front of that word, but do you think it's a privilege thing? Do you think it comes?
I don't want to be married to the idea that this is all racy. And
I don't either.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I don't either. And as a person of color, I would like to think that no, this is not a privilege card that's being.
I'd like to say we're beyond that shit.
I honestly don't think it's. I don't think it's totally that, but also I don't think it can be ruled out just as a vet.
And yet again, I would have to agree with Brian. As much as I don't want to be naive to that fact,
Yeah.
I have to also concede to the idea that there's a possibility that, yes, this may be a bit racial. My wife, commented last week on it or 2 weeks ago on it, and she made some really, really good points. And as much as I may disagree with my wife at times on certain subjects like this, it's not exactly so far-fetched to say that like this could have a particular backing behind it, like that. Because, I mean, this dude is from fucking Vermont.
What does that mean? I don't even know what that means. Is Vermont like special or what?
No, it's like the whitest state in fucking America or whatever.
I don't know, man. He called out the KKK once too. Like they weren't safe either, man.
Hey, man, not every white person likes the KKK, dude.
KKK didn't want that smoke. He saw what he did to Hawaii. He saw what he did to people with color, much less people he don't like that aren't color. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, those guys.
I mean, there was that white girl. That was that white old lady in Iceland, bro. I mean, she was white, dude. She was the first one to catch the hands.
I don't know, man. It's just one of those things that, like for me, it's one of those things when James Gunn got fired from Marvel for being appropriate on his social media, DC was like, we'll suck that dude right up, man. Don't even worry about it. You're not even going to need to look for work. And then all of a sudden, Ezra Miller gets caught doing all this bad stuff. And now you have that dude as the boss. You know what I mean? He's the one that's like, I really feel like James Gunn's out there like protecting a lot of these dudes like that. Like there's a part of me that thinks that he's like, hey, well, you know what? I did a bunch of weird shit about talking about banging kids and doing all that shit on my social media once. But like,
I might agree with you, but I also think.
Don't you think he's just a little bit weird though, man?
But this has nothing to do with James Gunn. Is my point though? Like this happened before James Gunn.
Yeah, but now that they got him in, it'd be his choice to keep him or not. He would be the guy that would be like, hey, you know what? We need to kind of like wash our hands of this guy. He's done a little bit of crazy stuff. And James Gunn's gonna be like, nah, he's good.
Yo, James Gunn is one of the few instances where he survived cancel culture, dude. Like he beat that shit. So of course, if there was gonna be someone to take a chance on Ezra Miller, it would be fucking James Gunn.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of like, that's why I'm thinking that he has a higher possibility of surviving the situation than others. Then Jonathan Majors in Marvel, in other words. Because Marvel's the one that kind of like...
You're on the side of, if this movie slaps, everyone loves it. It's like the best movie ever. Like the best fucking comic book adapted movie.
It's not, but I mean...
You're still going to be on the side of, fuck that guy.
Well, I think, yeah. Yeah, I will. Yeah, straight up. I'd still stand on that guy.
I'm fake, bro. I'm fake. Like, I'm fake woke. I'm fake woke, bro. Like for real. Like if this movie slaps,
for me, it's one of those things. Accountability is probably one of the most important things in our society that we need to kind of like keep in the front of people. Accountability, and the thing is he's done some really horrible things to people. He's hurt people, and he gets to get away with it. If it was anyone else of a lesser stature, easily they would be in jail by now. Easily they would have lost all their jobs. They would have been dragged through the dirt. They would have been dragged through every social media. They would have been canceled or whatever they want to call it. But because he's in his popular nature or the state of where he's in his popularity bubble or whatever, there's things that he gets to get away with that other people do not.
We talked about this. We talked about this. I want to say a month or a few months ago, where DC just started cutting all of their movies. Remember when they just like canceled the Batgirl movie or whatever? Like they canceled everything.
They got rid of people for less.
And we were sitting here trying to understand why
Ezra Miller was still going.
Was not one of the movies that got axed. Like we asked ourselves that. There's something going on. I don't know what it is, but there's something going on where they're just not even acknowledging.
Yeah, like no, I get you. It's really hard to explain. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I thought that was very egotistical and overly confident of that worker to be like, bro, this movie's gonna be so good, you're gonna forget.
I mean, but if that's his truth, that's his truth. I'd rather somebody tell me that, so I know what's going on like behind the scenes. Like if that's what his inner circle was talking about, then they believe he could beat this shit.
Yeah, what do you think if it doesn't? What do they do? Like, what's their PR move if people are like, "Oh, well, the Flash was good, but it wasn't that good"? Like that guy's still an asshole.
They fire him. They're in a no lose situation. If there's a bad reception, from this movie or from Ezra Miller, they can just drop him.
Yeah, they just drop him.
And if it's good,
then they use the therapy and all that stuff to try to make it seem like he's okay. Yeah, I get that. Alrighty. Well, I just wanted to cover that real quick. Off topic. There are some things we do need to talk about. Brian, you still there? Can you hear me?
I think he might be dropping right now.
Yeah. He has his internet's been messed up. All right. Well, boys, I did want to bring up something. First topic of the night. We do have the spectacular immaculate event called SnyderCon. SnyderCon 2023 happened this past week. It went for a couple of days. Triggs, did you get to check it out? And Brian, if you can hear me, did you get to check it out in case you come?
Oh yeah, dude, I was in New York, where the fuck it was.
Brian, I can
checked
see
it out.
Yeah, I'm here.
No, I mean, like I saw some of the things about it. I thought it was to me, it seemed like one of those little amateur conventions that it was just for the nerds there for like who wanted to see Snyder's things. And you know, like, good for them, dude. You know, like, I'm not gonna hate on people for fucking wanting to watch things. It's like a weird, like I said, a weird little convention for, like, you know, it almost seemed like one of those like Firefly conventions.
Yeah. Like a specific, very specific genre.
Yeah. Like you're there for like a single thing. Yeah. That's it.
Brian, did you hear about SnyderCon 2023?
Yeah, we briefly covered what we thought it was going to be about.
A couple months ago.
Other than that, that's all that I know about it. Why? What's going on?
Well, it just dropped this past week, and to me, it's one of those things that it is the weirdest like dick riding convention I've ever seen in my whole life.
It's not a dick riding like a contest or whatever. If it's him hosting it, that's him sucking his own dick then at that point.
Yeah. Well, everybody out there is like, woo. I thought it was really weird. A lot of people were out there just there was even that moment of people still trying to reinvigorate the Snyder cut situation.
Why?
Which I think it's a really dead horse by now. Like, it's particularly a really dead horse.
Yo, can we just get over this already? Like, this infection with the like the Snyderverse,
the Snyder cut. I don't
it's
know.
It's over, bro. It's done. It's over.
I don't even know why it still lives on. I don't understand where people think.
No one else thought this was fucking weird that fucking Zack Snyder was showing 3 WB fucking movies. No one thought that was weird.
I thought that was extremely weird. I still think it's weird.
Why don't you give me a trailer for your new stuff?
Oh, Rebel Moon, out? Yeah, dude.
Dude, that's what I really thought was gonna premiere, like, at SnyderCon, and apparently it didn't.
Why are we watching these bum movies that were poorly received consecutively multiple days?
For me, it was one of those things that freaked me out that they're still releasing, like, look, he released a 4-hour cut of this fucking film, and then he was releasing concept art of shit that wasn't in the 4-hour cut. And he was like, this is the way it was supposed to go. And I'm like, bro, you got several millions to finish your stupid fucking film. And the part that you're talking about wasn't in it. It's not important anymore. You could have told me a billion other things you could have put in, and that's not even important anymore. You released a 4-hour film of the shit that you said deserved to be out.
It was a charity? Is that what this was?
I don't know, man. The only great thing about this is the money they made was for the charity. I don't know what the charity was. I don't even know, man. Charity.
If that was the case, then I'll accept it. But if this wasn't for anything short of that, then this was.
I just don't understand it anymore. Like,
imagine sitting in a fucking convention center watching 4 hours of a movie you've seen like multiple times.
Yeah, but I guess the only cool part was, like, they had, like, Ben Affleck there, Ray Fisher was there. They had several actors from the film that still correlate their lives of around Snyder and his vision of what he had. So they were there to kind of give you that, like, behind the scenes of what they did as actors. I mean, dude, to this day, I'll tell everybody, Ben Affleck probably brought one of the best Batman ever on film, any depiction, hands down. He's easily one of the best Batman. So to see him go and be a part of some type of convention that brings life back to that ideal, or at least kind of breathe some, I would love to. Tell me you guys wouldn't love to see Ben Affleck back as Batman doing a whole feature film. Yeah. Like a whole ass Batman feature film.
I would love to see that, and we were going to get that by Ben Affleck, and it didn't happen. Oh, well.
It didn't. Yeah. Brian?
I really can't talk because I'm literally about to go watch this movie strictly because of Michael Keaton. So, and that was my favorite Batman. So like,
No, like don't get me wrong.
understand.
The 80s Batman is.
No, what I'm saying is I understand why people, if that was a favorite Batman of theirs, why they would see a full feature
film based
on them. Like, because I'm about to go watch a Batman that I watched when
I
was
80s,
7. Yeah, when I was 7. So I get it.
I still believe. I mean, I've talked about this before on the show where we talked about who our favorite Batman are, and Michael Keaton's probably by far my favorite Batman. Just like Jack Nicholson's my favorite Joker. Same. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, but. I mean, I think we were kind of like deprived that opportunity to see something like Ben Affleck's Batman in a full-length feature film dedicated to his character only. But I mean,
that movie, that 89 Batman movie was the first VHS I ever received like on my own. Like I got that as a birthday present when I was like 7 or 8.
I still remember me and my brother watching it in theater
over and over and over and over again. Like,
it's a beautiful film, man.
It's great, yo.
Tim Burton knew what the fuck he was doing back then, man.
That's my guy. I have been a Tim Burton man ever since that movie.
To me, Tim Burton, he knew what the fuck he was doing.
Dude, he don't miss, dude.
He doesn't.
Even when he made part 2,
yeah, dude, he don't miss.
When he put the penguin, Danny DeVito, like Danny DeVito's penguin was like, holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck, dude. That penguin was so good.
And yet again, like the best depiction of the penguin.
Ever.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't seen a better, seen a better penguin since.
I mean, we just got
dude, it was perfect.
We just got a new modern artistic take on a director's image of the penguin. And to me, it didn't even scratch the surface of what Danny DeVito did back in the day.
And don't get me wrong, dude. Colin Farrell's a great actor himself.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, but cool. and like I said, you know that's not at all to take away from Colin Farrell. But yeah, dude, like there's just something about that comic book accurate Oswald Cobblepot that you can't not love.
And then you have, of course, in the second film, Michelle Pfeiffer, one of the best Catwoman ever. In fact, probably the only Catwoman.
I can't name a better Catwoman.
Like that's literally like the pinnacle, dude. Everything, even like Christopher Walken played like the mayor.
Yeah, no,
he played was amazing too, man.
Was he the mayor? No, he's like her boss. He was like the boss of something.
Oh yeah, that's right. He was the boss.
He was like the boss of like whatever company she was.
Yeah, I can't remember. That was the one that Catwoman.
Your accent's coming out, bro. The boss.
The boss.
Boss. Yeah, because I mean, dude, everybody did such an amazing job back then. Yeah. Just thinking about the Alfred from that time was awesome. Mm-hmm. The Commissioner Gordon did an amazing job in the first 2 films. Fucking what is it? The fucking not the mayor, that other dude. Who was it? I can't even remember off the top of my head. I'm not even lying.
I think the mayor was played by
the black dude.
It was it
was not. That was Harvey Dent.
No,
that was Harvey Dent. It was a black dude. A black dude played Harvey Dent. The first movie, he's at the poker table, and he's like, "Hey, I'm going to introduce you to Harvey Dent. This is, the boy."
I'm talking about Billy D. Williams. Billy D. Williams.
Yeah. Look, I'll look that shit up right now.
I don't think he was Harvey. I think he was the mayor, dude.
He was. Yeah, he was Harvey Dent.
Harvey Dent, dude. Oh yeah. So fuck all those people that talk about
Lando Calrissian, bro.
It was Lando. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what
Lando
Calrissian. I couldn't say Lando.
Yeah. You can't tell me you can't do a proper race swap and all that other shit with a character when Billy D. fucking Williams played Harvey Dent in the '80s Batman,
bro. But he cannot say that. But he don't miss though, dude.
Exactly, because they did it right. Because they did it right.
Yeah, but dude, if they gave me Morgan Freeman back then as Harvey Dent, I'd have been like,
Morgan Freeman played Lucius Fox, bro. He played Lucius Fox.
I know, dude, but if he had played Harvey Dent, I still would have been like, that's Harvey.
That's Harvey to me, man. Yeah, he carried himself so well, and that was like, I wonder what it was back in the day when people heard that. But then again, they probably didn't read comics either, and it was probably worse because they didn't have the internet in front of them. You know what I mean?
Honestly, man, I'd have to say probably like people probably read comics more back then because I mean that was like one of the very few like mediums of entertainment that you had. I mean, like you have to remember, dude, like this is back in the late 80s.
And
honestly, like they didn't have the internet, my guy.
They didn't have the internet, but you know what they did have? They still had at that times, and I remember the reruns of the Adam West Batman.
That's true.
They were still playing because I remember as a kid watching them like watching them in like the back room of my grandmother's house whenever I used to stay over there. Like that was still going. Yeah, they were still playing it on TV, so you still had that like that Batman
That
like
reference
around,
or something.
and then that was like at the boom of the comic area
Mhm.
as well. So it was like you couldn't escape it. That's why they made it.
Yeah. That was the original Batman was so good. But going back, they did finish out Snyderverse. There wasn't a lot that was given out. I'm just hearing this. Thank you, Jeremy, for jumping in the comment section, man. I always appreciate you, brother. That they did donate the funds and a lot of the money that they made from the event to charity for suicide prevention. Because if you did not know that while Justice League was being filmed, Zack Snyder's own, was it his daughter or stepdaughter?
His daughter.
Yeah, his daughter committed suicide.
She unfortunately took her own life.
That's what got him to step away from the project in the first place. Then he returned to release the Snyder Cut and all that stuff. There is a part of me that kind of understands him as an artist, why he feels he never got that opportunity to release an art piece that he was really pushing for, and why he keeps returning to it. And that will always be the one that got away. But I mean, I think he's had a good run on it, and it's time for him to bring out, to push on his current project. I think Rebel Moon, from the stills and the little things that we've seen from it and behind the scenes that they're talking about, I think it has a lot of potential to be something very big, and I'm really excited for it. So it's really sad to hear that they didn't release anything on Rebel's Moon. So
I love the fact that that it was for that cause.
Yeah.
So that definitely changes my perspective on the entire situation. But I would have loved to him just distance himself from that and give me some new shit.
Yeah.
Show me what you're working on. Like,
yeah, because I mean, we all know he's good at what he does. Like, he's good at what he does. Even if he drops something that's like a 7 or 8 in the categories of 10, it's still good because it's his own original take on something. That's what really makes me excited for Snyder, is that he really takes the chance to like that zombie shit that he made. It was
the one that was that was an interesting movie. I don't know how
and it takes a wild take in the sense that like zombies can like impregnate people or do some crazy shit.
Yeah,
but he took a chance. You know what I mean? He took a fucking chance. He didn't go with someone else's IP. He was like, all right, I got an idea. let this cook and shit. And it's like, okay, I respect that because that's what an artist does. It's not like a printout of someone else's shit. Yeah. So, the SnyderCon thing, I wasn't really too hyped about, nor was I really paying attention to it. But
wait. Before you go into this next topic, can I ask you fellas a question really quick?
Yeah, of course.
It's not on the topic. I'm going rogue. I'm going off
Nice.
script here. We didn't talk about this in pre-production, but you did mention about directing or whatever, and we did come across a little bit of information this week about the Russos actually having a chance to talk to direct the Star Wars movie, and we kind of had like a little debate back and forth. But I've never gotten Trig's perspective on that. Are you upset that didn't come to fruition?
Am I upset that it didn't come to fruition? No, but I would have loved to have seen it happen.
Okay.
Like, I'm not like I am kind of one of those guys where I don't like to cry over spilt milk, because I mean, if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I have in my roster a bunch of other directors who are just as good, if not better, who could probably make this just as good, if not better.
True.
But at the same time, I'm also not going to fucking, like I said, cry about it, because they might be booked up with something. They might have like an actual scheduling conflict, or they just may not be interested in the project. If they're not interested in it, then they're not interested in it. Oh well. But with that being said, like, would I have loved to have seen a Russo brothers like directional depiction of a Star Wars movie? Fuck yeah. Those guys produce some great quality entertainment. They really do.
I think that's where I
Disagree.
Not to get deep into this, but just that's where I disagree.
Yeah, man, we went deep in that shit on the weekend.
We'll table this. We'll table this.
But right, dude, we're gonna be on Discord. Me and Brian are gonna be like, bro, shut the fuck up.
I just wanted to get your perspective. Everyone knows where.
Did you finally see? Did you finally see Extraction? Like I told you,
I have not watched Extraction, but I have not seen it. But another tidbit that I have been letting this go on for too long. They didn't even direct Extraction.
Yeah, they did.
No, they did not. Joe Russo wrote it, and then they slapped the Russo brothers as EP. But they didn't fucking direct that movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at Triggs.
Oh, it was by Sam Hargrave.
There you go. So every time that I had this...
they wrote the movie. It was both of them.
No, it wasn't both of them. It was Joe Russo is the only one that has a credit as the writer for that for Extraction. But they both are EP. The Russo brothers are EPs of executive producers of Extraction. So this entire time that I've been letting everybody just Extraction me the fuck out when I have this conversation, they didn't even fucking direct that fucking movie.
Dude who directed the movie was
okay, so then they produced it. Either way, the project starts with them.
Here we go. Okay.
I mean, don't everything with Kevin Feige, he's an EP when it comes to Marvel, right? Yeah. So every project starts with him. Every single one. And this
was the crux of my argument, or just my debate, my side of this specific topic, is because we're not asking them, we're not asking the Russos to come in for a Star Wars movie and write it or EP it. We're asking them to come in and direct the shit. So what have they done to prove that besides something? Let's take Marvel out of it, right? Let's take Marvel out.
Yeah, let's take the $1 billion movie out of it.
Let's take that out. That was
the
$1 billion.
No, what are we calling it?
The $1 billion was not because of the Russos. Let's call it a spade, bro. Like it wasn't because of them. Like, right? Can we agree that it was 10 years of a foundation of building that led to that $1 billion? It had nothing to do with the Russos. They were given the keys to a Ferrari and told not to crash it, bro. And they didn't. They did donuts and they did spins and they spun out and they pushed it to redlining it. Yeah, they did a great job.
The Avengers to the list. Or no, the Avengers not to the list either?
That's still building. That they had very little to do with.
Okay. Dude, Winter Soldier? Independent movie. Independent movie. There's outside of
26 Marvel movies. You're about to rattle off 4.
And
but they weren't responsible for 26 of them.
That's my whole point. 3, though. That's my whole point. So when Chris brings up Endgame and the $1 billion movie, they are responsible for 4 out of 20. Let's say at that time, 4 out of 21 movies that built up to the $1 billion movie.
And of those 24 movies, how many of them are $1 billion movies?
There have been a lot of $1 billion movies that did not.
But we're talking about. Okay. Then let me get some clarification. Of the 24 movies that you were just talking about, were those Marvel movies that you were just mentioning?
Those are the only movies that we're talking about here.
Okay. So we're talking about 24 Marvel movies that didn't have any Russo influence whatsoever. Correct?
No, I'm talking about 24 movies in total. And what I'm saying is that of those 24, there's probably about 4 or 5 that they've had a hand in before, like as of Endgame, right? So, or before Endgame. So yeah, they did a great job. Listen, I'm not bashing the Russos. I just think that they're getting a lot of praise for taking over a franchise or an IP that had a great infrastructure and had a lot of hands to do with that. A lot of directors, a lot of executive producers, a lot of funding. And when they go out on their own, they don't produce the same thing. And my point is, they're not the savior for everything. So when I hear this rumor that they were in talks to direct this Star Wars movie, this Kevin Feige produced Star Wars movie, I'm sitting there thinking like, me personally, I'm not asking for that. I'm not asking for it. Like you literally have Dave, you have Dave Filoni and you have Kevin and you have Jon Favreau in-house that can write, direct anything you can possibly imagine for that movie. And then on top of that, you think Kathleen Kennedy is gonna allow that to get the fuck out of here, bro? You thought Kathleen Kennedy was gonna sit there and allow the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige come in and make a bomb ass fucking. You got Kathleen Kennedy fucked up. I think.
Yeah, well, at the same time, with the way that Kathleen Kennedy, has been going, I'm sure Disney's just going to be like, "Hey, by the way, we have the Russos coming in to fucking direct your movie," and she's going to be like, "What?"
I was going to say, man, she's like, "Don't even invite those guys. I'm going to single-handedly fuck this up. I don't want none of them boys touching my shit. I'll fuck it up." So she's been doing good on that on her own already.
Yeah, but I don't think they would have fucked up a Star Wars movie.
I don't listen. I don't think they would have fucked it up.
And to your point, exactly to your point, and with your logic, they already have a great infrastructure and they have a great IP and they have a lot of hands beforehand. And I think that, given the opportunity, they would have been able to do that exact same thing that they've done with Marvel.
Valid. That's a valid point. I have no argument to that. Because if I want to bring up the infrastructure of Marvel, I mean, what a great infrastructure as Star Wars. I mean, it's toxic as fuck.
Yeah,
but it's an infrastructure nonetheless. So that's a great point. I stand corrected on that point.
But fuck
yeah, we were talking about that shit. But it's crazy, man, because they have a lot of like contracts with a bunch of different streaming services. Like we talked about Cherry. We talked about the other one. What was that one that you mentioned? The other show
he's got a show, Citadel, that's out right now, and people are calling
dude,
it
and I've heard
trash.
so many bad things about it. Yeah,
people are calling it trash.
Dude, I've heard so many bad things about it, and like, then this is like the one thing where like, if I am gonna agree with Brian on, I'd be like, fuck, dude, like, I hope he doesn't bring up Citadel.
And I brought it up because it's the most recent example that they're not so hot without the money of Disney behind them. That's all I'm saying.
And more to that, dude, I don't think a whole lot of these other like directors have also had like that kind of success. I mean, even with that kind of money, I mean, and I hate to bring this guy up because his first one was fucking phenomenal. Ryan Coogler, dude.
I knew you were gonna go there. You can go with Ryan Coogler because Ryan Coogler has movies outside of
they're like hit or misses and
Disney.
Shit.
It's not even that, but he is directly involved in both of the Creed movies, the first and second Creed movie, which did phenomenally in the box office, if I'm not mistaken. Critically acclaimed, the Fruitvale Station. That like he's got a resume and then not only that, but another person from the Marvel tree is Taika Waititi, who is in talks to doing a Star Wars movie as well. So like,
I don't even think those are even talks anymore. I've heard that he's like doing one.
He's doing
still 24.
He's doing and honestly, I think that there's a lot of examples of people that don't have the machine of well, no, that's still Disney, but just strictly Marvel in general, that built-in infrastructure that can go out on their own and do their own thing. I think there are examples of that.
I gotta ask though before we go on in the comment section, Derpy, if you saw Citadel, the show last night, if that's what you were talking about, let us know in the comment section what you thought of it, man, because I haven't heard of it. I saw that the dude from the Eternals is in it.
And dude, I know him from Game of Thrones, but I know.
I just remember he's in Eternals because I didn't see Game of Thrones, but I'll probably check it out since it's on Amazon Prime, because we talked about the other films that they did. Like, what was the one that you had mentioned? It was something with Tom Holland or something. That was Cherry, right?
Oh, Cherry.
Yeah,
that was like an Amazon.
Yeah, and that was on Apple.
No, that was a Apple TV.
And that's the thing, like, fuck, I am not gonna subscribe to Apple. So if anything comes out on Apple, se la come, dude. I'm not gonna tell madre. I'm not.
Dude, honestly, man, there have been some hits, dude. There have been some hits.
Oh no, Apple TV is dope.
Is it good?
Yeah, dude. I'm not gonna lie. If you ever get the chance to watch C, the show C, SEE.
Yeah.
It's really, really good. There's a couple characters that kind of piss me off, like the daughter of Jason Momoa. She's kind of a cunt, and I'm not a big fan of hers. But I mean, whatever. She fills her purpose. She's like my only gripe with that entire show. But they have some really, really good shows.
Yeah.
Ted Lasso is another good one. I believe that's
over there.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a Apple TV exclusive.
There was another one, the Will Ferrell show with I think it was Will Ferrell and it was Steve Carell. Like they did a TV show, it was like The Attorney Next Door or some shit, whatever the fuck it's called. That was a great fucking show. Yeah, they have a lot of good documentaries as well too.
Silo as well.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of hyped to see that. Oh, you're talking about Shrinking.
I think.
Oh no, not Shrinking. Ghosted. That
Ghosted
one.
is the other one that
was
recently.
horrible though, dude.
It's bad.
It's not good.
That's
not
the
in
one
my
Chris
opinion.
Evans and
Ana de Armas.
yeah, it's pretty much the same cast from The Gray Man. So I've been noticing that the Russo guys, whoever they're working with, they're kind of recycling the same actors. So
I don't know. They didn't do Ghosted though.
They didn't do Ghosted, right? That's not them.
No.
But it's literally almost the same cast from The Gray Man.
Yeah, but but you know,
which is
like,
with Gray Man, it was pretty much the same people from what was that? Blade Runner, the new one. So it's like a lot of these like same actors that are kind of like working.
Oh, you're talking about Gray Man.
Yeah.
And there's also Blackbird,
which I thought was really good. Brian, you said you saw Gray Man. You weren't really a big fan of it, right?
Yeah, I think I got through like half of it.
Like half of it.
You know what's another movie that just came out on Apple TV and is so far probably been my favorite movie of Apple TV that I've seen, and it's so out of left field. Tetris.
Dude, I've heard good things about Tetris.
It is so fucking good, dude. And it's not even about like players of Tetris. It's about how the guy who licensed the rights in Japan wanted to get handheld rights for Nintendo, and how the USSR was like barring him from doing that. And so he basically had to like finagle his way to getting the rights, gets them, and has to like immediately leave the USSR, Moscow. And like, after that, he like basically smuggles out the inventor of Tetris from Moscow, and like they create the Tetris company and become like billionaires basically.
And what do you guys, okay, so when I first fucking heard they were going to make a Tetris movie, I was so fucking flabbergasted because I was like, please don't do it like Battleship. Don't make it to where like spacecrafts are going to come to Earth and smash everybody if they line up.
No, dude. It has a bit of a
fight alien blocks and shit.
It actually kind of has a bit of a Scott Pilgrim.
And what do you guys think about it?
I loved it.
And what do you, okay, I have to ask, what do you guys think of that format though, that they're doing like these films based on video games, but it's the real world dealing with aspects of them?
Why not?
Because like Tetris is a really good play. Because you look at Mario Brothers back in the day, and it was like, or Double Dragon. You remember that movie back in the day? Like it was all based on the video game itself and taking itself way too serious, and then trying to bring it into the real world. And it was like there were misses. Back in the day, I enjoyed the shit out of it. I'm not dogging Double Dragon. I love that movie. Mark Dacascos is always a badass in my mind. Same thing with the Mario and Luigi movie. I thought it was silly, but like when I was 10. When I was 12, 13, like it was okay. I could watch it and laugh and giggle and kind of get the idea. It was like Surf Ninjas. Like it just didn't need to make sense. It just needed to be funny, have some cool quippy shit, and I was 100% for it. But Tetris for me did something different. It took the game Tetris, called it Tetris, and was like, well, even though it's based on a video game, I'm going to tell you what the fuck happened around this game. Like, I'm going to tell you what happened around it in
because
real
it's
life.
apparently a really compelling story, dude. It's a very, very compelling story. It's not done in the way a documentary is. Mm-hmm. And a good example of that is Batman and Bill. Okay. If you've ever seen that movie, it's on, or if you've ever seen that documentary, it's on Hulu. I recommend every single comic book lover who's ever read a Batman story, go watch that. You are going to hate Bob Kane at the end of that fucking movie. You will despise Bob Kane to what he did to Bill Finger.
Oh, yeah. From Batman, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because we're going to go ahead and change our subject to the next option here because it's a good segue.
Yeah.
But they dropped a really, really interesting looking fucking beautiful trailer for a film coming up based on a fucking video game that is not the video game itself taking itself too serious. it's almost like the technology in the game exists, but we're going to do some real life shit. And that movie is Gran Torino. They just released the trailer for it. Or is it Torino or Gran Torino? I think it's Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo? Are you sure? Well, whatever the fuck. They released
You're thinking about the Gran Torino.
Gran Torino. No, I'm thinking about fucking My Hero Academia. Oh, shit. Yeah, that's Gran Torino.
I was saying you're thinking about the car, the Gran Torino.
No. I'm thinking about the old guy from My Hero Academia. Gran Turismo.
Yo, we were just about to let him just get that off. Like, I wasn't going to say anything either.
I would have said it a couple times.
I could tell Brian was like, let him cook, dude. Let him
cook. Boys, I wanted to show the trailer, man. Let's get everybody all caught up.
Dude, it's a great trailer, man.
I agree. I 100% agree.
I didn't know that it was based on a true story.
You know what I thought when I saw this? I think if they would have took this movie and gave it like, instead of Gran Turismo, it would be Need for Speed, and instead it'd be like a heist. Like if they had someone teaching these kids how to like drive for like a heist and make that a movie. Like that would have been fucking dope.
Should even pay. I want to see a fucking Payday
dude,
movie.
But even then, man, I really liked the Need for Speed movie that came out. That Aaron Paul one.
It was okay.
But it was on a streaming service too, right?
No, it came out in theaters.
Yeah.
No, it came out in theaters.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
With the kid from Breaking Bad, right?
Yeah, Aaron Paul.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the guy who's like the number one Gran Turismo player, he's actually in that TV show C that I was just talking about.
Okay. Oh, badass. All right, let's check this shit out, man. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get another beer, but yeah.
Can you hear it?
You missed it on the track.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you guys a big fan of this video game franchise?
I play it occasionally, but I think Gran Turismo is probably my favorite one over Forza.
Very cool. I'm gonna put us on the bottom, man, so that way people can get a bigger screen. I love that actor guy. The guy's playing the dad. It's like one of my favorite. What's his name?
Jimin Honshu.
Yeah, I love that dude. He's so cool. Yo, as a gamer, have you seen some of these rigs that they make for some of these driving games?
Yeah, dude, they cost more than the cars that they drive.
Dude, man, I've seen some of them where they have like the screens that kind of like overlap.
Yeah.
So it literally like encases you.
Yeah.
In the game, so like you feel like you're 100% driving.
Dude, and then David Harbour, dude.
Mm-hmm. Orlando Bloom, man, looking like a bottle of wine there, man. Is that the guy you were talking about?
No, him.
That one. He's tall too, man. That's crazy. So the story is like, are these guys all esports kids or what?
Yeah, they're all Gran Turismo players.
Okay.
These are like the best Gran.
It's literally claiming that this is all based on a true story.
I've heard that. Yeah, there was a Gran Turismo player who actually made like a debut in like professional driving.
Any success?
Yeah.
Damn, dude. That's like what's that dude from Malcolm in the Middle?
Frankie Muniz.
Yeah, he's now driving NASCAR, right?
Yeah.
And I just heard that what's his name? Brad Pitt. He's gonna race in Paris, London.
Dude, there's another guy, man. He comes out in Parks and Rec, or some Jeff Lowe. I think Jeff Lowe. He's also a race car driver as well. Weirdly enough, and I know this is gonna be why do you know this? But there's a porn star, dude, Mick Blue. He's also a race car driver. I think he drives for Aston. Yeah, he also drives. I think he drives for Aston Martin.
Why Trig knows that, I don't know, but
yeah, dude,
we'll let it slide.
Yeah, man,
let it slide. That's respect right there, man.
Why don't you just ask him, Triggs? Why do you know that?
Because I follow him, dude. He's also like a purple belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know who the fuck that is, but you know.
Yeah, dude.
You're no.
And now you guys know.
Plow six on the side. I like it.
Yeah, thanks, Triggs. Thanks for sharing that little.
Yeah, dude. That guy literally fucks, dude.
That nugget. That tidbit.
Yeah, dude. That guy. Yeah.
So wait, how do we like the trailer?
I think it's gorgeous, man.
Yeah,
it looks beautiful through and through.
I'm gonna see the shit out of this.
I'm becoming a really big fan of the way that these nowadays films are starting to initiate real life surrounded by drama or certain situations that have happened around these video game creations or whatnot. Like almost like the turmoil. It'd be like if they released like a I don't know. Triggs is a big fan of Destiny. If they released a big thing of a big like a drama surrounding the suing of like some other director or Metal Gear Solid. I'm a big Metal Gear Solid fan. Just that opportunity to see a movie based on David Hayter getting cut from the Metal Gear Solid 5 and his life on how he tried to like explain himself to fans and call Hideo Kojima and Kojima explaining himself and like just I would
even you know how Konami cut Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
you know,
I would watch the fuck out of that, dude. I would watch the fuck. That's like a whole
dude. I would have Hiroyuki Sanada as Hideo Kojima, and like I don't know who is David Hayter. May as well just give him the fucking role because he doesn't get much.
Why would you
just give it to him?
Yeah, goddamn, he's still alive and shit. He's doing his thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have much work either, so fucking give it to him.
So what about you guys? Are you guys fans of the Gran Turismo franchise?
I am. You know, I think I'm a big more Need for Speed guy when it comes to like the racing games. Okay. And then it would probably be Gran Turismo and then Forza after that.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Triggs. I think for me, if it comes to, it would be definitely be Need for Speed as number one. But I would actually go with Forza as next, and then it would be Gran Turismo for me.
I'm not really like, for some reason, I'm not really like into a lot of like the sports style video games.
This is probably the only sports-esque game that I would play.
Need for Speed is fucking dope, and I don't care which version you play, which game you play.
They all slap. Dope. Yeah, they all slap.
Okay. Good shit. Well, I gotta ask, since you guys' understanding of the racing genre and all that stuff, plus you guys are gamers yourselves, did you guys see the trailer for Twisted Metal?
We talked about this, and yes.
Every time, man. There's just something about it, man. I am not at all excited about it. I think it's gonna be silly as fuck. But there was another trailer that dropped, which I was very surprised about because I would have expected it to be like a countdown trailer. A lot of people talking about it, whatnot, and it kind of dropped out of nowhere for me because I didn't even know it was gonna go. And
Triggs, man, your time to shine, buddy.
Yeah, fucking Brian knows. Brian knows without me not to say anything. The Dune 2 trailer dropped.
Dune Part 2, man.
I purposely have not seen the trailer because I don't know what the fuck is going on in that film. Huh?
How did you miss it? It's been everywhere.
I just purposely chose not to watch it. I just like stayed off the internet for it. And I was like, you know what? I know little to shit about Dune 2 past whatever I saw in the first movie.
I will gladly explain what is happening.
I was going to say, well, now that you got the person right here,
I will gladly tell you what's happening.
Triggs, there'll be some kind of dirt on the screen. And the Triggs is going to be like, hey,
this is when, don't worry, I got you.
It's going to let me know. Now, guys, we know this because of copywriting and all that stuff that you get about 10 seconds of free space between everything. So, Triggs, feel free to talk during the trailer and let us know kind of like, oh, he's gonna kiss her, or
I'll let you know, I'll let you know what's happening. I'll give you some live commentary during it.
Yeah, something, man. Let me go ahead and get this up. You guys deserve to watch this shit. I'm excited. You guys are gonna check it out with me. I'm excited. I
just can't hide it.
Let's put us below. Boom, going downstairs. Ready, boys? Let's go.
It's breathtaking.
Is it?
When you see sand here, imagine water. If you dive in, you can't really
hide that shit.
You dive in.
Yes, it's called swimming.
I don't believe you.
So to kind of like start off with what's going on, he's telling her about his homeworld, which is Caladan. Caladan is a big water world, and obviously she's never seen a great deal of water before. And he's telling her, like, basically saying, like, once all of this is over, I'm going to take you there and I'm going to show you what my world is like. Because, like, he's telling her, like, this is basically like the declaration of love, like that he's giving her right now. And he'll kind of see that a little bit later in the trailer.
Good shit. Let's go.
In the shadows of Arrakis lie many.
This is his mother. She is now at this point.
This is Florence Pugh.
Yeah, this is Florence Pugh. She is the oldest daughter of the Emperor.
Watch this shit. Robert in the comments gonna go wild as shit seeing that girl up on stage.
Yeah,
you see, I told you. I called that shit before I put it up.
Yeah, and she's the girl that Paul, Timothy Chalamet's character, is going to marry to basically take her father's throne.
Okay.
And what about what's her face, Zendaya?
So the Zendaya, okay. So in this world, it's really really weird, right?
Yeah,
so you have
she like backstabs him or some shit, right?
No, so here's the weird thing. You in like this world or in that world, you have the person that you marry. And that's a political wedding. And then you have the person that you're in love with. And this is your concubine. So you have a child with your concubine, but you have your wife for position. Or you have your husband for position.
So it's like the ultimate Game of Thrones fuckboy movie.
Kind of. And every once in a while, the wife and husband will have a child. But that's literally just for political aspects. Like the love child is always between the concubine and the husband.
Gotcha.
Wow. It's an Andrew Tate movie or what?
Oh, dude,
say,
yeah,
top wild, that's wild out there in Dune, bro.
Someone out there gonna be championing this movie.
Yeah, dude.
Someone gonna be championing the shit out of this movie. Someone is gonna get some hate.
Dude, Aiden Ross is like completely on board with this
Ross up in here, yeah. All right, let's check it.
Your father didn't believe in revenge.
He believed in the smoke.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she looks so good. Whoa, dude, it's the man.
Gurney Halleck. Okay, so
was that
Yeah, go back.
Oh, there's my dude. It's Kingpin.
Fucking Elvis.
Yeah. Did you see him?
Yeah.
I bet you he comes in with the Elvis accent.
That's Gurney Halleck.
Here, buddy.
Yeah, right there. Go a little bit further.
A little more.
Yeah, a little bit more. All right, now.
Yeah, look at that fucking symmetrical face. Dude.
This I am actually not a big fan of. Right. I am
Elvis.
I am, but I'm not. All right. So in the books, right, and you can kind of see this a little bit because of like how symmetrical he is. But in the books, this is Fade Rotha, right? This is the nephew of Stellan Skarsgård's character, the Baron Harkonnen. This kid is his nephew. He's actually supposed to be taking over he's supposed to be taking over.
Damn, I know some shit.
The thing is in the books, this man is supposed to be beautiful. Like he is supposed to be the fucking specimen.
Look at it, bro.
Yeah,
look at this dude.
I mean, I see that's what they were going for. It was kind of like the prototype, but then like he has an older brother too, right? He's got an older brother that like is kind of like grooming him, kind of thing. Is that what they're doing, Drake?
Baron is the one that's doing it. Like the Baron is the one that's doing it. So it's Stellan Skarsgård's character that's kind of the one that grooms him for this.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's his uncle technically.
Yo, this dude's such a handsome dude. I'll
Butler, dude. Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, he used to come out in this show called
Shannara Chronicles, and I love that movie.
Yeah, the Shannara Chronicles, and I was like,
and I love those books too, dude. I love those books.
And I told him then, I was like, man, this guy needs to be Link. He'd be a
he'd be a perfect Link. He'd be a perfect Link.
Super good for Link. And they made a Zelda movie.
Oh, 100%.
Especially with the Shannara Chronicles thing. He's really good in that film.
Yeah.
But Elvis, dude, he killed it in Elvis.
Oh, he was so good. I finally saw it, and it was so good.
It was good. All right, let's continue. Because Baron Skarsgård is about to come in with his whole Kingpin self. All right, Triggs, there's a lot that happened there. What's going on?
All right, so if you go back just a smidge, just a smidge, right? A little bit.
Okay, that's Zendaya.
She hot, bro.
We have Power. We have Power Rangers Zendaya. Yeah. No.
We went too far.
Let it cook. All right.
Okay, that was
not there. Stop.
Okay, who's that?
All right. This is another what's called a Bene Gesserit. This is the same.
Chicks.
Yeah, these are like the basically like the advisors to like the powerful people in the world.
This, man.
And she is an advisor to it starts with an F and it's like Ferritin or something like that.
I don't know.
Well,
but
anyway,
she
actually is supposed to seduce and get herself pregnant by Fade Rotha so that they could have like a political child.
Oh, shit.
And she's supposed to teach that child how to be basically what Paul is, but
like
she's
the Messiah or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. That Benny Gesserit or whatever you guys call it, that sounds real like offensive though. I hate that name. Just Gesserit or whatever. I don't know, man. That sounds mean.
Jezebels,
right,
man.
Yeah, Jezebels. Yeah, I'm always like, man,
they are a bunch of Jezebels,
dude.
They have like their own machinations about everything. Like everything that goes on in the universe is because of the
it's
group
very
that she's
tribal,
attached.
right? Like I was
Kind
it's
of.
really like a tribal essence. Like if you break it down, it's kind of like very biblical tribal, where everything that the organizations do all have because of a purpose of growth.
Well, and
Or
even
like
not even that, but it's also like religion. You know, you know,
So
like there's a lot of religious undertones here.
Yeah, I see it.
What's that? So okay, so this is like water. Kinda, right? It tastes just as horrible. So I have a feeling I know what's going on right now in this particular scene. Now in the books,
this is supposed to be like equivalent to the fucking not the sand, but the fucking, what are they snorting?
The water from
the melange or the spice.
The spice. This is like this is like a liquid version of the spice. That's what I heard.
Brian's basically in on this shit. Yeah. Brian, what?
This is that's wild, this man. Is like
I did my research, bro.
This is spice basically ingrained with like venom from the sandworms, and she has to drink this and survive. If she drinks this and survives, she becomes what's called a Reverend Mother, like the most powerful version, one of the more powerful versions of the Bene Gesserit. And with this knowledge, or with these, augmented powers, she has a much better understanding of like what's going on, and it helps her guide things in the way that like the Bene Gesserit, want things to go.
That just sounds like a party.
Yeah, dude. Dude. So she's about to take like liquid roofie right now, basically.
I was gonna say, this lady just like, would you like a shot of Don Julio?
Yeah, dude.
You should do that at work, Triggs. Like that's how you got to prepare your shit.
Yeah,
you gotta walk around and try this bottle out.
Hell yeah.
People will look at you way different, man. All right, let's get this. Is that the same dude, perfect and shit?
Yeah.
Okay. That didn't look like him.
This is gonna be Paul's first time attempting to ride a sandworm.
Yeah.
I tried to impress anyone.
Oh, it's that dude. I remember that guy.
Yep, Stilgar.
So okay, real quick, is this like a manhood shit? Like, is that why they gotta?
This is kind of like a rite of passage sort of thing,
okay.
Except it's like way more intense. You know how like
you're supposed to be the one.
Yeah, like I mean, like a lot of Fremen know how to do this. This is how Fremen move. This is how Fremen move without machines. They transport themselves on the backs of sandworms, and then they just get off, and they're just like, all right, well, I'm at where I need to be. I'll write another one or something like that. But yeah, this is like his rite of passage. This is, I'm sure, like once he does this, because if I remember correctly, it's once he does this, he's officially accepted by the Fremen, and then they give him the name Muad'Dib, which is the little itty bitty rat that you see in the first movie, the one who like drinks its own sweat. That's what a Muad'Dib is.
Oh, it's like a survivor or some shit.
Right? That's why there was like the importance of everyone
that
pointing out
the.
Yeah, I got it.
I was about to say this reminds me of that Avatar part when he's got to capture that fucking flying thing.
Yeah, kind of. This, except I wish sandworms were as important as Appa was.
Yeah, true that.
Brave, we all know that. Be simple. Be direct. Nothing fancy.
I understand.
Nothing fancy. That's funny.
Nothing fancy.
Legit. All right, cool. So he rides this bitch. This is pretty intense of a scene. Does that mean since they're showing this bitch in a commercial, we can associate that with that they're gonna have some pretty marvelous shit going on in this film if they're just showing this off in the fucking
man, is it gonna get way worse? Like I'm not gonna say worse, but like
because I mean, don't get me
because
wrong.
I'm trying not to spoil too much. Okay. Yes, I have talked about like, oh, this is what's going on. This is what's going on.
You can spoil this entire fucking thing.
And I wouldn't know what the fuck's going on still. You could be
well,
like,
fine.
oh man, remember that Jesuit that ate that fat and blew up that dude?
All right.
Yeah.
Well, here, how about this? Paul, and you'll see this later on, and I'll explain it at this point. But this Paul being able to do this, he's going to convince everybody to do this all at the exact same time. I'll tell you about what happens in a little bit.
That's wild. He's just gonna be like, hey, everybody, we should all do this shit.
Yeah.
Monkey see, monkey do. Okay, let's go. Helicopter. Oh no, never mind. Okay, what's going on here?
This is kind of this was probably taking place on Getty Prime, which is the home world for the Harkonnens. Yeah. And this is like a gladiatorial arena. This is basically just a showcase of Fade Rotha's like combat ability.
Okay, so they're just showcasing him, not really like having him kind of like ladder up.
Yeah, no, this is more like who's gonna go die at the hands of Fade Rotha at this point.
Sidetrack. Before you continue, quick
I like
question.
that chick's hat.
Did you guys see the that Gladiator 2 has been like fully casted?
Oh yes, dude, I love it, man.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah.
Are you guys interested to see another Gladiator?
Hell yeah.
That cast looks sick, bro.
Yeah, dude.
I haven't seen the cast yet,
bro.
But like,
yo, I'm talking steak sauce, my guy.
Yeah, I want to see who's in it. If I can see who's in it, then I'll tell you what's up. First Gladiator movie was crazy. That was badass.
Dude, are you not in it, dude? I mean, one of the most fucking talked about scenes in all of cinema, dude.
I mean, because if Marvel's not going to give it to us as Planet Hulk, I'll watch it in the regular Gladiator movie.
I didn't want to sidetrack us, but I just
no, that's good, man.
Nah, man,
it's good, with this cool closet on her head. I like that. That's a good shot. Trigger, what's up with her hat? Anything special with this?
Yeah, this is the fully realization of Lady Jessica, which is Paul Atreides' mother. She's now a Reverend Mother here. So like,
she looks like No Face from Studio Ghibli, Spirited Away.
Kind of, except she's way scarier.
Oh yeah, straight.
Yeah, way scarier. And here basically, because there is a Reverend Mother that represents the Fremen, they have like a place in society. Because now they are represented by somebody who holds like a great deal of political influence.
Yeah, what is that real? Conor McGregor's in this movie?
Get the fuck out of here! What?
Yeah, he's gonna be drinking proper 12, slapping the sound guy.
The fuck is this guy?
Get out of my way, you son of a bitch! All right, let's get going.
He doesn't apologize to nobody.
You better get your fucking sound stick out of my mouth. Oh shit.
We gave them something to hope for.
That's not hope! May thy knife chip
in shatter.
So he has to fight Bill Skarsgård or whatever dude to like reign supreme over these people or what?
Yo, you just be saying any fucking name, bro.
Right, dude? Like,
right, dude.
So he has to fight Chris Hemsworth, fucking Chris Pratt. If it's a white guy, he's gonna name it. Because you look like Ben Affleck.
But the confidence he says it in,
dude, right?
What kills me. He's like, oh, so,
yeah, you're gonna fight Bill Skarsgård. No, dude, that's Austin Butler, dude.
Yeah, the Elvis guy. So he has to fight that dude.
The Elvis guy.
To do what?
All right, so to fight, like, basically to fight him is basically to like say that there's no one left who can actually challenge him, and he is like the person with the most amount of like political influence next to the Emperor. And basically it's because like during that scene the Emperor himself happens to show up, and he basically tells him like, yeah, if you don't give me what I want, I will just have you killed here and I'll take it from you. Or you can do the smart thing and I can marry your daughter and I'll just and you can do your thing.
And that's what Elvis is doing to the other dude, right?
Elvis is basically the one who's in the way of that.
Stop calling him Elvis, bro.
I can't remember his name. I'm not even kidding, dude. I can't remember his name. Dude, the guy still does the fucking accent, so it's his fault.
Austin
He'll be on
Butler.
red carpet still talking
Austin
like Elvis
Butler.
Yeah,
his name is
Butler.
Austin Butler.
Austin, I'm gonna name him Austin St. John, dude. He's gonna be the Red Ranger.
He's gonna be the
Red Ranger.
The Red Ranger.
So he's the one that's kind of making demands, right? Because the Paul dude is already kind of deemed the Messiah or some shit by people because he's got like blue eyes and visions and does a bunch of coke or whatever he did.
Well, no, he actually gets his blue eyes because of the amount of spice that he's taken in. You also have to remember between like the events of like what you were just seeing to the very, very last thing that you were seeing him like raising his blade and stuff like that. That's 2 years.
Austin St. Butler.
All right, so let's try to move on. So does it,
is there more?
Does it? I think that's it, dude.
Oh,
yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Right. So
I'm about it.
Triggs, how does it look to you?
Oh, I'm gonna watch the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
How long is this movie supposed to be?
Probably 2.5.
Come on, man.
Shut
they can't fit it.
up,
they can't fit it in like an hour and a half, bro.
Yeah,
bro. The original Dune movie was like 3 hours.
That's why I'm over it. Like I sat through the first 3 hours.
No, dude. Like I'm talking about the 1984 one.
That was a novel first, or that was a movie?
It was a movie first. Sorry, no, it was a novel first.
It was a novel first, right?
Yeah.
That was just one book, or was that like a series?
Okay, so no, that was so the book spans over 7 books.
Yeah.
Okay,
big,
I figured.
big,
Okay,
yeah.
So it's a series.
It's like a whole Lord of the Rings shit.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like it gets kind of like convoluted towards like I heard like towards like the 4th, 5th book. It starts to kind of lose its bearings and gets a little bit out of hand.
But yes and no. Like you'll kind of like to kind of like very, very briefly touch on what happens. Paul has 2 kids, right? He has 3. One of them dies like right after childbirth, and that's the first Leto the second. Then he has another one, and he calls it Leto the second again. And then he also has a daughter. Yeah, right.
Fucking
super original. Yeah, and then he has another one. I think like it's like Galicia or something like that, or Ganema or something like that. Well, Ganema, like she happens to be the like what's called an abomination. She happens to be like her powers are so strong that they kind of come out of control, and you find out later on that Baron Harkonnen is actually his like Lady Jessica, Paul's mother's father.
What? What? Say that again.
So
you're confusing the fuck out of me. Dude.
Yeah, there's it gets really like and dude, this is book 2. You know, this is book 2.
I'm like, no, come on, dude. Man. Can't start that early in the fucking.
Yeah, dude, this is book 2, bro. You find this out. So I
actually heard that like around
someone's
book 5,
mom turned into their dad. What happened?
Turns into some Alabama sci-fi shit.
Actually, it's funny that you say that. Paul's daughter. Sorry, yeah. So Paul's daughter, like Galicia or Ganema or something like that. She like her personality, believe it or not, actually gets overwritten by Baron Harkonnen. Fantastic. So he actually tries to take over her mind and tries to take back Arrakis through like some weird Palpatine shit that goes on.
Arrakis, you say?
Yeah, that place. I remember. Dude, it just gets wild right as fuck. Because I know that they ended up doing the fucking son of the dude, Paul or whatever, and he comes in and he's like hyper powerful, like just super fucking like, yo, what's up? I'm Jesus. Let me heal some shit and fuck up some kingdoms and show you I'm the Messiah. And then he like bounces out and goes finds himself and comes back and takes over. Like it's real witty. It's real weird shit.
You want to know what's even weirder? He becomes a sandworm.
Shit, it gets weirder than that. Okay.
Yeah, he becomes a sandworm.
Even better, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck it. Why not?
Yeah, he becomes a sandworm and he sends the Fremen out.
Yo, let's cut through the bullshit. Is Oscar Isaac in this movie or not?
Yeah. What's going on? Look, there's a good ass question. Jeremy,
if he's not in this movie, I'm not watching.
Jason Momoa coming back.
Not in this movie.
Jason Momoa's not coming back.
Not in this movie.
I'm out of it.
God damn.
I'm out, bro. I'm out.
Was he gonna come back in like a 3rd movie or 4th movie or
3rd?
Why? What happens in the 3rd movie that makes him come back?
Okay, so in the 3rd movie, basically in the 3rd movie, what ends up happening is one of the generals, they collect his body and they send it to a particular like tribe. They're called the Toilaxu, and what the Toilaxu?
Toilaxu?
Yeah.
The
Perfect.
toilet laxatives.
and basically
Always
like,
like you, man.
and these guys are like the scientists of like the universe, right?
The other people are making meth in
Do
their
they go to
fucking
Uranus?
basement. Everybody's a scientist.
No, dude, that's Jesse. That's Jesse from Breaking Bad
everybody
shit.
works for Breaking Bad with all this
No,
spice
dude.
shit all over the place.
Well, these scientists, they have something called golas, right? And golas are basically clones. And in this universe, you can make a clone from from the cells of a person, like any kind of cell. So like
Okay,
they end up making him again. And they do it over the course of 5,000 years.
Oh, fuck.
They remake him over and over again over the course of 5,000
really
years.
wait on that shit. But you know what's really cool about this is like this comes from like way back in the day. So like I know whoever made this and talked about clones and all this stuff, they were high on coke or something, dude. Like they were just on drugs.
It was a TV series, actually.
Yeah, they were just on drugs. Like I know that for sure. So
Frank
it makes
Herbert?
me feel a little bit more confident when it comes to being like, it's not a bunch of these new age kids writing multiverses and clone stories. Like this is straight up someone taking a bunch of drugs, talking about clones and talking about science shit. There's Brian. Brian, I got two of you. Did you saw that?
Yeah,
That's wild.
I did.
What happened?
Listen, are we done with this Dune shit, bro? I don't know. My internet's been in and out.
That's all good. No. It was
Are we done with this Dune shit, bro? Like, are we done with this show?
I mean, look,
we've been sitting here trolling this guy Trigger for the last fucking 10 minutes,
I mean,
bro.
Trigger knows that there's like a lot of like convolution in this series, but like through and through,
Trying to make it make sense for you, dog.
Yeah, he's really trying.
I get it.
And it's very hard. I give it to him because even the back in the day, the movie was confusing as shit. But through and through, I'm not gonna lie, I'm excited to see it. It looks fucking fantastic. It looks phenomenal. I was surprised by the first film, even though I feel there wasn't enough action in it. I do feel cinematography wise, it looked beautiful. The story looked awesome. Just everything was on Dune. I'm excited for part 2. Looks good. And I knew I needed.
There will be a lot more action in this one.
That's what I'm kind of waiting for. That's what
I promise you. Yeah, because like the first part of the movie is basically you just seeing Paul lose everything. Right.
Okay.
This time it's the rise of Paul into like his own, right? He's going to take control of the Fremen, of the entire Fremen army. He's going to attempt to make a play for the throne, and then ultimately like he will get the throne, but he has to do so in very, very political means. But at the same time, he also weirdly enough has to stop certain things from happening, which is the Fremen taking him way too seriously. Because like these people are like zealots.
I do have to ask a serious question though. Like,
are we still talking about Dune?
Shut the fuck up,
bro. We still talking about I've been in and out like 3 times already. We're still talking about this shit?
We're still talking about Doom. I do have one solid question that I really need to ask. When it comes to the Dune series as a show, we do have the second movie coming out. It took about 2 years for the second movie to come out. Is this something we're going to have to keep waiting on for a story to come to a fruition, or is it going to end like in this coming film?
So
are we going to get a solid ending? In other words,
no.
Okay.
No. Like to answer your question, if you want the end of the Dune story, like you're going to get your happily ever after and everything like that. Mm-hmm. You're going to kind of get that in this movie, but there is more past it. If you want to know what happens more past it, either go see the sci-fi miniseries, or you can go read the books.
Okay, good shit. That's all I wanted to know. Yeah. Because all good stories have to come to an end, and we know that.
There's a saying out there, man. There's no such thing as happy endings. If you want a happy ending, it depends on where you stop the story.
True that, or go to a massage parlor or whatever. Yeah, Brian's like, yeah, boy. Speaking about that, Brian,
sir,
now it's your time to shine.
Is it?
It is very much your time to shine.
I like
because we haven't seen it, but now's your time to give us your attention on Guardians of the 3.
Oh, it's that time.
Early reactions, man. We got our last couple of minutes left of the show, and we have about 30 minutes solid.
Very nice.
I haven't had the opportunity to go see it. I'm probably going to go see it this weekend.
Neither have I. I also will be going to see it this weekend. So.
I implore everyone that's listening, watching, whatever the fuck you're doing right now, go see this movie.
Yeah. We're not gonna really be talking spoilers on the
Yeah, no
show,
spoilers. No spoilers.
because, like I said, we haven't seen it. Brian's seen it, but the thing is there's solid questions that we want to ask that we've talked about in discussions that I want to kind of shoot off for Brian to see if we kind of hit some parts. We talked about this last week and several weeks before about Guardians of the Galaxy. Did we hit anything on the nail when it came to stuff that we were like talking about, that we were saying, oh, this is gonna happen? Or was it a pretty good miss and it's a good surprise?
No.
Really? No. Oh shit.
No, I think everyone, once you see this movie, we were all off about a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Which I'm glad for, man.
And don't take the trailers too
as like certain
serious, because there's a lot going on in the trailers that kind of leads you to believe one thing, and then when you watch the movie, it's something like all those scenes, like the most impactful scenes of the trailers, those are like early on in the movie, dude.
Okay.
Like there's this movie is very flushed out. It's a very well written movie. I said to you guys off camera that this is probably the best written Guardians movie. Sweet. I think the acting, just to be a little bit more specific, Drax, this is probably the best Drax version I've seen of him.
Oh, nice. Nice. Dave
Bautista did a great job this time around. Mantis, another shout out.
Palm Clemente, or
yeah, I can't remember her name. I can never say her name.
It's Palm Clemente or something like that.
Yeah, she does a great job. Honestly, they all did a great job.
Everybody shined.
It sucks. Seriously, like I'm not even bullshitting. Like everyone did a great job. It sucks that this is going to be Zoe's last go around with Gamora. That sucks because.
But do you think that's like 100% true though? Like, you don't think that there's an opportunity, because like, you could bring in some spectacular writers to it and maybe kind of course her into being like, yo, we got a pretty good amount of money to bring you back in. Would you be interested? Or do you think like this is 100% her?
Dave Bautista, I can see him circling back.
Yeah, because he's working at Burger King. No one's gonna hire his ass after this.
But actress like Zoe Saldana, I think she can get other. I think she can get other opportunities to where this may not. She could leave this in the rear view.
Oh, so dude, for sure. I mean, how many billion-dollar movies does she have in her fucking pocket?
She's got three. She's got three under her fucking belt, bro.
Four,
like she's
good.
Now. Yeah, like
I think she has four.
Good. She's good. So now she can go fuck off. Like she can go do whatever she wants at this point.
Let's shoot out.
But yeah, she did fucking Nebula. Oh my god, like this is probably like the best version.
Yeah.
This is the best version of Nebula that I've seen. And and I liked her in Endgame. But
true.
In this movie, she shines.
So this is like the best version of the team that you've seen.
This is the best 1000%. I said off camera again. I don't know if I put this over Guardians 1 just yet, but it's close. It's right there for me. It's literally right there. This is the best iteration of the Guardians that I've seen thus far.
Oh no. Vince Weaver. What's up, Vince? Good to see you in the comment section, dude. Jeremy says, I know I said I wouldn't watch it right off the bat, but I heard good things and decided to go check it out, and definitely an 8.6. Damn, and that's because
which falls in line kind of with what you were saying, right?
Serious, man.
What's that?
I take their shit serious when it comes to how they rate stuff. Like, I know my guys go out there and they're fucking critical and they want to see some good shit. Yeah. Vince says, I saw the spoilers. Man, that sucks, dude. And I will see it soon. Okay.
Honestly, even if you get this movie spoiled for you, you should still see it, because the way that it's pulled off. And honestly, I just a sidebar. The one thing that I kept thinking about as I'm watching this movie is I don't know what to expect from a Superman movie from this director.
James Gunn.
Like, watching this movie, like, there's flashes. Like, I've not been hypercritical of him over the past few weeks and probably month. But he might be able to pull that off, yo.
Well, he ain't pulling shit off right now with the writer's stuff.
I'm just saying, like, I think I was giving him a little bit too less of a chance.
Yeah. I remember.
The only thing is it still had the James Gunn humor, and I don't know if that's gonna fly for Superman.
Was it a hit or miss?
For me, it was a miss. I didn't laugh at a lot of the things, but the people in the crowd were laughing at a lot of the jokes. So they got it.
Yeah, I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't land for me. I'm a little bit more like even as dark as, and this is a dark movie by the way, even as dark as this movie was, I'm still like Pat. I'm so dead inside. Like some of that shit was like kindergarten level, but yeah, it was dark, but it wasn't like as dark as I'm used to. So it lands for some people, but
it was the dark I was used to when I'm done. Yeah,
nah,
man,
dude, like
Brian's like, I'll kill everything, dude.
No, but there are some dark parts in this movie, just not something that would shock me.
Well, in the comment section, Robert says he wants to ask, did you cry? I almost did. A little tear came down on the side of my eye, and I was fighting it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm a man, bro.
And that's the reason why like I'm a little bit confused with some of the critics. A lot of the critics are saying, bring tissues, you're gonna cry. I saw what's the guy's name? That does reactions and
hey, what's up, Moonstomper? Good to see you, man. Good to see you.
I can't remember.
Guardians of the Galaxy. You're talking about that dude. I forgot his name.
Campia. I'm talking about Campia.
Oh, John Campia.
John Campia, right? So John Campia did a review, and I watched it, and he said that you're gonna need tissues and you're gonna cry. Dude, this movie wasn't that sad. Like it's dark. It's James Gunn dark. It's not sad. Like I don't know if James Gunn can even do sad, but like it's just dark. It's just you're gonna. Some people are gonna love it, and some people may not love it. And
okay,
I was a fan.
And Brian, Vince asks for you in the comment section: is the movie one of your top threes, maybe in the MCU? No, definitely not.
No.
Okay, I asked this question to you off screen, and I'm gonna ask you this question now. In a matter of Phase 4, where would you place Guardians of the Galaxy? I know it's part of Phase 5 already, but like, just cattling all of these films together during Phase 4 and into Phase 5, where would you categorize this in the ranking system?
A lot of people are going to have different opinions about that specific question. But me personally, I like this movie probably right after Shang-Chi. So Shang-Chi came out, and then this is probably the next movie that I think is on that same level. On that same level. For me, again, Shang-Chi is one of my favorite movies in the past phase. So
okay, good stuff.
Measuring it up to that, I think that's right neck and neck. I don't think it's like in the upper echelon. I don't think I would even put this movie in like the top 10 MCU movies. But I wouldn't disagree if somebody did put this in their top 10. I'll say that.
I mean, even in the aspect of it, I think that's why I kind of only push back to Phase 4 and Phase 5, because like I don't really want to categorize the 10 years in the beginning that's already like run and done. I don't want to try to categorize any of these films alongside of it, because this is like a whole new Marvel that we're messing with.
But that Marvel isn't there's no expectation at this point with that Marvel that you're talking about. So when you're trying to ask me a question on whether or not this is, on par or
with
above than that, I'm going to say that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
So I don't want to base it off of that, because like, what are we comparing it to?
Yeah.
A bunch of shit. So like, I don't want to do that. This movie deserves better than that.
So you would put this up there as one of the tops for the new phase, like,
I would say within the last two phases.
Ask, let's put this into perspective then, because a lot of people claim this really weird mental anguish, superhero fatigue is as a disease, or I don't know what the fuck it is, but going to watch this, was it fairly good?
So I've also saw that narrative that that's what it is, and I've also seen people say that this movie specifically is going to change that. I don't know if that's the case, but it's a good superhero movie. Like I think those guys are just pussies, dude. There's no such thing. That's what it is.
Superhero fatigue or whatever.
Yeah, like, it's a good. Regardless of whether or not I'm fatigued off of superhero movies, that doesn't matter whether or not this particular movie is a good movie or not. And it's a good movie.
It's good to hear, man, because I know it's like I said, like I take your guys' critiques very serious. I know you guys are like myself. You guys are very rigorous when it comes to the way that you guys go to films and you want to see something and you have expectations for film. It's good to hear that you look at this film and you give it such high praise. It makes me even more excited, because to me, this is when you allow Marvel to, pick someone that actually cares about the franchise, cares about what they need to put out there and what's on their name. So it's good to hear that, man. I'm glad that James Gunn fucking, ran it all the way to the finish line, all the way to the goalpost and got it. I'm really excited. I believe I saw that the projections for opening is going to be 130 million. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, I could see that. Yeah, this movie has a lot of backing behind it. Some people who really, really fell in love with, I think, the Guardians cast. Mm-hmm. But kind of like on like what Brian was saying, like the fact that for him this is kind of like a reinvigoration for this current phase. Now, granted, this is already in Phase 5. This is actually the second movie in Phase 5. Yep. I was actually like doing some research on the phases right now. The kickoff to Phase 5 was actually Quantumania. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I didn't want to base it on that because Quantumania was like, I mean,
first off, watch your mouth. I rewatched.
I'm not gonna kill it. I'm not gonna shit on it.
Listen, I rewatched Quantumania, bro.
I remember you told me last week
that movie.
You were like, you know what, that was all right.
If it wasn't for the VFX in some certain spots, bro, that movie is.
It would have been okay. Yeah, it would have been all right. And you know what? I do take into consideration that I saw a really cool breakdown that was explaining that when Scott Lang comes back from the multiverse or whatever the fuck is Quantumania, and everything around him has changed, like, does that mean Kang actually changed something because now the world?
I've seen that too.
You know what? Yeah. And I was like, holy fuck, dude! Like,
where he's talking to himself. In
my mind, I was kind of like, fuck, dude. Now it's making me think, and I like that kind of stuff when it comes to movies where it leaves it open ended. I'm not gonna shit on it, but then again, it's like it was mediocre comparing it to like Phase 4. Also, like it was around that same because to me, I know Shang-Chi did good, and I know the other films were supposed to be great. But I know that Black Panther 2 was supposed to be amazing. And there were parts of Black Panther 2 that kind of left me lackluster. But a lot of the people in the film are the things that carried that more than anything, more than the story.
All right. So listen, there's another thing that I've been thinking about recently is that I think we're giving Marvel too hard of a time with some of this shit because little like they were full steam ahead, and then the pandemic happened, and I think that fucked up a lot.
Yep, like I'm taking that into consideration.
Like I think that fucked up a lot, and to where like they're still trying, like that whole Phase 4 was them scrambling. Like that was them trying to put out product and put out content that they had to at that point. Yep. So there's a story that. The reason why Quantumania's VFX is so trash is because they were working on that movie and Black Panther 2 at the same goddamn time. It's like, what do you expect when you see fucking MODOK's ass jiggling on the fucking screen, bro? Like that's what you're gonna see.
Yeah, because they're trying to get jokes in and make it make sense and do all this other stuff, right? And then with overwork and all that stuff that's going on with a lot of these people that are working behind the scenes trying to get that shit out. Yeah, so it's understandable. And I remember too, like hearing that in Quantumania, a lot of the CG guys were told like, hey, leave that shit behind. We got to put Black Panther and it needs more attention because that's going to be our flagship movie that's going to carry this. That's going to be the fucking golden goose right there. And Quantumania suffered from it. And this goes off of what's going on in Hollywood right now that I want to ask you guys before we think. But before that, Brian, you give Guardians of the Galaxy, what would be your rating, man?
I think I said it before. I told you guys off camera. I would give it like an 8.5. This is a really good movie.
I'm really excited, man. I'm really excited to hear that from you.
Yeah, I think you guys would totally dig it. I think I said that I for sure think that Triggs will dig it. I'm not so sure.
I'll have my reserves. I already know.
Yeah, you're gonna have your thoughts about it, especially when it comes to the Adam Warlock part of it,
but you know what? I don't think
I'm
it's James Gunn's
I'm actually probably going to be
fault.
more critical about the Adam Warlock thing.
Yeah.
Than
And I
he
said
is.
that. I said that. I said.
I think that's probably the most critical overall. Like, it's just one of those
has
things that,
any issue with this movie whatsoever, from what I know of him, is going to be the Adam Warlock.
well, that's going to be mine too. Like, for me, it's not even in the fact that he's in this movie for so little or so wrong. It's the fact on how they used him throughout the entire MCU. That's kind of like, he should have been released before Infinity War.
All right, but you can't fault him for that.
Yeah, but I'm not going to fault him for that's why I'm not faulting him for that. Like, now it's like, my concern is, well, how do you use him coming into Phase 5 and the rest of the phases?
They're going to show you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna. It's now. Now I'm going into it like you guys. Whatever they're gonna do on with Adam Warlock, it's brand new to me. It's brand new because it's not basing it on anything really. The only thing they could base it on is, I think we've talked about this a couple of weeks ago, the Annihilus wave, because all of them are wearing that costume. And more than likely at the end of the thing, you're going to have a whole new team. And my guess is Adam's probably going to be a part of that team unless he's like, well, I'm going to be Space Jesus and go around the universe and do my own thing without the team because I need to learn, what's good and bad or whatever. But I was really, really excited to hear that. I made a pretty good guess that they brought in Phyla-Vell as the little girl. I was really excited because we saw that like weeks ago when we saw the trailer and we saw the white-haired girl running in the thing, and I was like, I bet you $100 that's fucking Phyla-Vell. Yeah. And it was a good catch. It was a good call. I know they're doing it super young right now. Like, she's a very like little kid.
She's
right?
a kid. Yeah.
So that's cool. That's cool because Phyla-Vell is like a clone / daughter of like the first Marvel. And I know in MCU history, like, it's usually Marvel's like a dude, but in the movies, it was a female that was in the first Captain Marvel movie, the chick that was like her mentor or whatnot in the flight program.
Wait, before we continue any further, I have to give one more shout out. It was the High Evolutionary.
Yeah,
his name is Chukwudi Iwuji.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he has a really weird name,
bruh.
He did real good.
He killed it, bro.
Oh, dude,
he killed it.
He did really good in fucking Peacemaker.
In Peacemaker,
yeah.
He did a very, very great job. I think that he doesn't really help in the department of strong villains, but his acting was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, he does a phenomenal job. Vince, he's like, if Jonathan Majors has to get recast, he wants me to play the role. I won't even fit in this costume with my fat ass, dude. Jonathan Majors in way better shape than I am. Yeah, I'm really excited to see Phyla-Vell because that gives us the opportunity to hopefully see the quantum bands. That's what I think is really cool. The quantum bands. Quasar is like this character that's in the Marvel universe that has these bands kind of similar to Kamala Khan, but they're strong as shit though. And
I mean, that's basically what her bands are based off of, or the quantum bands,
Quasar, right?
Yeah,
but those are the Nega bands because they're based on Marvel's first weapon. Which
I don't
mean,
think,
that's kind of what they're
using. I don't want to spoil it, but that's
not really a spoiler because their character.
I don't know,
younger, isn't it?
But I'm saying I don't know whether or not she has that power set.
Nah, she probably won't yet. But I know she deals with some magic shit too. Some like weird magic shit that's like internal or like a power set or energy.
But there is a spot where you do see her power set, and I don't think that.
Does it look pretty good though?
It looks what it looks like. I'll let you guys. I'm really interested to find out what you guys think about this movie.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm still excited because I've heard a lot of good stuff. Minus that, of course, you got a lot of people out there that give their reviews based on just like the stigma of hate, based on like they just don't like Marvel.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, it's a miss because they didn't do this or they didn't wrap up that or whatever. But I let those people stay in their shit puddle.
Chris Pratt did his fucking thing too. Like everyone knocked it out the park. I'm not gonna lie.
Who would you say out of the entire cast was the real standout?
Rocket. I mean, if we're talking about characters, is this
like
movie
throughout everything. This, like the one that was movie, like
this movie is rocket centric.
This movie is a Rocket Raccoon movie. And it's a Rocket Raccoon movie starring the Guardians, co-starring Adam Warlock.
Well, I gotta ask because no one's really talked about it, and I gotta ask, but What happens to my boy Groot? Is my boy Groot in there doing some good shit? Like
Groot does his thing, bro. Like,
is it good?
Honestly,
I love Groot, man.
Out of all the Groots, this is probably my least favorite. But
least favorite.
It's my least favorite. But
oh shit.
But the part that he comes up big and he you know, he's
it's
Groot.
good.
Yeah, he kills
okay,
it.
good shit. Yeah, because I mean, the way that they kind of explained it is after Groot explodes in the first movie, the whole like growing up Groot is not the original character. It's supposed to be like his son or like his spore that has like its own life or whatever. So it's been a fun journey watching him from like a child to like a teen to like a young adolescent man, and then whatever else they're gonna give us in this movie. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. Not only that, it's Vin Diesel reprising practically the Iron Giant role. So that's the way I always see it. So, but I just haven't heard a lot of people talk about Groot in this film as if there's any growth.
There's honestly, there's not much to talk about.
Really?
He's in the entire movie, but I don't know, he kind of fades.
He's just a background character.
He's like in the background for most of the part. But then there is this one part where he is centric and he does his fucking thing.
And he does his thing. All right, yeah. That's good to see. Yeah, because that's the only one that I've kind of heard that's kind of like the least and stuff. And then Cosmo. How did Cosmo do?
And Cosmo, honestly, I got more Cosmo than I imagined.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
In this movie, there's a lot of Cosmo in this movie.
And you know what? Now sidetracking, dealing with what you're talking about with the CG and all the stuff that's based on Phase 4.
Top notch.
Did you guys hear that Blade got pushed back and it's on hiatus now? Because of what's going on in Hollywood right now. And I want to touch on based on this real quick. I don't have a lot of information on it. I know Triggs, you're the one that's like, you've been caught up on this, dude. I want you to catch us up on, give us a really good, like, cliff notes and everything that we need to know about what's going on with the writer's strike, dude.
So a couple days ago, the WGA, or the Writers Guild of America, went on strike against basically unfair practices that's going on in Hollywood. And it kind of boils down to like 3 big points. And that is they want 6 to 12 writers in the writers room per show, whether that's a movie or it's a TV show, what have you. They want 6 to 10 or 6 to 12 writers in the writing room, like for any particular project. They also want a guaranteed employment of anywhere between 10 to 52 hours per show. So this and I don't necessarily think that like includes like per episode. It might stem to per episode. And then they were basically saying that like all of these changes were going to cost, like producers or like the Hollywood people, basically like an additional like $452 million a year.
God damn.
Which, granted, yeah, that is a lot. But, I mean, dude, you have to realize, man, like these writers, these guys have roommates. And they're writing for Marvel.
Yeah, but where their houses at, man? What kind of house do they live in?
LA.
I mean, that's not really a big thing. I shouldn't ask that question. That's a dick thing to say.
Yeah.
Like, you go to college or you figure out you're writing fucking 90 pages or 120 pages, like, to slam out a movie. Like, that's a skill, man. Like, to be able to have the patience to sit down and write for something, like that's rough. Yeah, I think that's not even
including rewrites.
I apologize.
And that's not even including rewrites.
Yeah. Look, my biggest thing is, okay, we understand that there's a writer's thing, right? What my concern is in the umbrella of people that work their fucking asses off as writers, is there's a bunch of poser ass motherfuckers in there that write like shit and are entitled as fuck. And they think they deserve the exact same output or pay as them. I wouldn't pay the same amount of person that's writing for The Office, right? And this is really, really correlating to it. I wouldn't pay those guys. I would pay those guys more than the people that wrote Velma, and they're practically the same fucking people. Like, Velma was a shit fucking episode. There's a shit series, fucking horribly crap, and I wouldn't pay for that. Why would I have to pay for that? Or, I mean, but yeah, like, I mean, we were talking about this. So what's the statute of limitation on it?
Until it gets solved.
That's so hard, man.
Till it gets
That's
solved.
almost that's almost
like,
on the
that's kind of what a strike is, dude. Like you're either gonna meet us halfway or you're gonna meet our demands.
Brian, what do you think about the strike?
We're not gonna come up until afterwards.
I mean, you kind of get the gist of it, right?
Pay them, bro. I get the gist of it. I kind of know what's going on.
I mean, would you pay this? Okay, this is a speculate. This is stipulation.
Okay.
If you had the people writing for Arrested Development or the people writing for like a really fucking, Stranger Things, would you pay them the same amount as you would pay the people that wrote Velma?
I mean, it's the market, right? So it's like it's almost like football. So like it doesn't matter how much you're worth, it's how much you guys can negotiate. I mean, that's the bottom line.
So does that mean there needs to be like a minimum wage for writers that they make?
If that's what you want to call it, I don't want to call it a minimum wage. I think they're still going to get paid more than half of the fucking country.
Payment that's better than the living conditions that they're in. I mean, because that's like you guys say, man. It's like a spade's a spade. Like you have to come up with a statute of limitation first, and then build from there, right?
I think if it's from a writer that's not making any money whatsoever, yeah, it's a great thing. But if you're one of these writers that are making a lot of money, I don't know how it makes. How would it affect you?
This is coming across the board in the sense of like they want to create a union or they have a union. Like they have something that's going on that they're like they're the screenwriters guild or whatnot.
No, I get it. That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're a writer that's not making much money, this makes a lot of sense.
Yes, because then it's like, okay, cool. Like, well, if you're in the screenwriters guild, everyone there has a base pay that they get paid.
Yeah.
And then from there, you can ideally choose who is the more popular or more skilled writer, and you change their pay based on that experience and output.
Not to, I mean, again, I love to think on the the macro level of things. Like if that's what's gonna take it, if that's what it's gonna take to make these writers happy, then just pay them, bro. You have the fucking money. They're making you a lot of money now. Whether it's bullshit or whether it's good or whatever mids, whatever you want to call it, it is what it is. You're paying them to do a job. So and they're saying that the conditions. Now, again, this kind of bleeds into what I kind of think this is motivated by, and it's not so much the like the network writers or something like that, but it's mostly like the streaming services where these writers are kind of upset about the working conditions and the pay. But again, that's a deeper topic or whatever. But if whatever they're asking, just pay for them, and so now you can continue to get your Netflix, you can continue to get your Marvel, you can continue to get your Disney. Just pay them, bro.
Triggs, I must doctor up, and I want to say, do you concur with what Brian is saying?
Yeah, and to kind of what he was saying, a little bit earlier, man, like a lot of these guys have what's called billable hours, right? So, like a lot of these guys are going to charge what they feel is adequate, for their worth, whether. Now, and that goes under like negotiation, like whether you actually are worth that kind of amount, and things like that, like it's not necessarily a minimum wage, but these guys do have like an amount that I'm sure either one can charge or will charge for the type of product that they're putting out.
And not only that, but they have the data, like they have the data of how much revenue that Netflix is making, that Disney Plus is making. Like they have ways of getting these numbers, and you can quantify that.
Yeah. So I mean, there is an argument behind that. Like whether we liked the project or not, there are gonna be people who are gonna fucking stand for Velma and be like, oh my god, this is the best thing to happen to Scooby-Doo since fucking the Globetrotters, whatever. And I love the man, but we think it was just an astronomical piece of shit. But I don't think that's the argument, though. The argument should be these writers should be getting paid fairly.
Yeah, like we have no we can only imagine how much the WB or Warner Brothers Discovery is making off of Velma. Like they could be not even just Velma, but just of all of these fucking shows.
All the shows.
Yeah. All this, like all
Velma may be shit, but there's a bunch of good shows.
Exactly. Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like would I would I have a writer who's going to charge me House of Dragon numbers to Velma? I would tell that person to go fuck themselves.
All right, but so then what do you do if they pull this off?
Then if I have a writer who's like, oh, this is my portfolio, this is what I've written, blah blah blah, this is what I'm asking. Okay, you're writing for Velma, but you're charging me fucking rates that you'd be getting on House of Dragon.
What do you say?
No, we're gonna come you down, and we're gonna put you at peak Velma numbers. This is what Velma's projected to make. This is what we're going to be paying. You know, things like that. These are the projections. Season 1 did this, so we can project that either like let's say a 3.5 to over and under, and we can discuss from there.
You mean a stationary minimum wage for writers?
That's not a stationary That's not a stationary wage.
No, that's spade.
No, it's not.
You're putting a legitimate base and then saying we can bargain from there, right? And that goes across the board. If you're a shitty writer, you're on that line.
Yeah, but I don't go to fucking McDonald's and say I'm going to bargain for more money.
You could. I mean, based on your experience.
Well, that's the beauty of a union.
Yeah,
you don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Good, man.
You have somebody that will do that for you.
No, and I agree. Like I'm not saying that like the WGA is wrong at all. I completely support the WGA and the AGA, but at the same time, kind of to like what Chris was saying, no, I'm not going to give you the same money that I would a writer who's for this one. But I am going to pay you. And if I were to like come into that, I would be like, yes, but you will also like be working with 6 to 10 other writers as well. Yeah. You will also be making this, or you will be making this, but you will also have these particular resources behind you, and this will make your job a whole lot easier. Now, I may not be giving you the revenue that you're getting, but you're also going to be getting time on the back end to write, either one, concentrate on this particular IP a whole lot more, or what have you.
Listen, if I don't get another season of Succession because of this bullshit, I'm gonna be upset.
Okay, then you're not. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You know that season 4 is the end of it, right?
I mean, we're in season 3, so that's fine.
Yeah, season 3 is the end of it.
Yo, if we don't get blamed
any of my favorite shows, I'm just using that as an example, but like,
and like let's say House of Dragons, right? If I never got another House of Dragons, I'd be so mad.
Yeah, like I don't want it interfering with my content.
Yo, but who the fuck cares? I have AI, dude. Who the fuck cares?
And that's another thing. That's another interesting aspect.
Yeah, that's why I brought up. You see that segue?
That I kind of brought up. Like, if you're asking me, I think this is all for naught, because I think within a few years, this is not going to matter at all.
This is going to hurt the community, man. This is going to hurt everybody. And they don't understand that. People do not understand that because they favor that shit. They think it's great. But then when your boss figures out how to use AI to do your graphics design work or do your writing and shit, do you think he's going to continue to keep you on the pay raise? Fuck no, He's going to cut you. That's like when you go to Walmart and you see everything's all self-checkout. You see no more cashiers. Everybody just rack shit and just helps customers bring carts in because they found a way to get rid of that shit. It's like the same thing. Like there's a full-on automated McDonald's up in like, I don't know, like fucking Vermont or Arkansas or some shit. Has 0 workers in it. The only people that work there are the ones that maintain the machines and swipe up the dirt when the day's done or whatever.
The thing about strikes like this is like these companies that you're striking against, like the Netflix and the corporate
the Universals, the fucking WBs,
the CBSs, the fucking Foxes that you're doing,
the Disneys, bro.
Yo, they don't forget this shit, yo. Nope, they don't forget about this shit. They don't forget about this shit. So when they find a situation where they can fuck you,
look, I'm not even gonna lie. There is a movement going on right now. A YouTube channel of a studio that's pretty popular that a lot of people know, the Collider, right? The Collider YouTube channel. These guys are particular on doing film, some CG work in their film, doing some YouTube stuff, real fun shit, working with virtual reality, working with some top-notch computer CG shit, green screen stuff. They literally did almost an entire anime that looks like Arcane, like the fucking Arcane series that came out, that's League of Legends. That was like by far one of the best animated films or series in the last like 10 years on Sons of Beauty, and a whole new style. These guys did it strictly by AI and a green screen and filming themselves. There was no animation. There was nothing like that involved. Everything was based just on AI. And if you don't believe me, go check it out. It's called Rock, Paper, Scissors on the Collide YouTube channel.
Yo, let me ask you a question. If you were a business, like let's say
I would hire them in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if you were a conglomerate, you're Disney. Let's say you're Disney, right? And this strike is stopping you from making your billions of revenue a year. What would you do? Like, would you sit there and sympathize and empathize with them, or after? What I would do is I would create a deal that would shut you up in the meantime, and then from that moment forward,
I will learn from there.
I am learning how to replace you.
Yep.
So that this never happens.
That's what's going on right now, man. That's exactly what's going to happen right now.
Look, from the moment you signed on whatever new contract we negotiate, from that moment forward, I am looking on a way to get you the fuck up out of here.
Now you know what's even fucking crazier than that? I'm gonna blast one to you real quick. Like right now, James Gunn, the Russo brothers, all of these guys kind of have their hands tied behind their back because them writing their scripts for their films puts them in the Writers Actors Guild or whatever. So they have to stop because of the union. But if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me on this if I'm wrong. Call me bullshit or whatever. Taika Waititi barely used the script for Thor: Love and Thunder, and he still created an entire fucking film based on a bunch of ad lib shit.
Just coming back into that.
No, it's fine. Even however the movie was, I'm not basing this on if it was good or bad or nothing.
Okay.
He made an entire fucking film that Marvel still digs and a lot of people still watched, paid money for, and he barely used the script. So? Like he barely used a script. He literally made a film without needing 6 to 12 people in a room. He was just like, "Hey, this is the idea. Let's get it."
I think we're beyond that. I don't think that's even part of the conversation anymore.
But that was before the writers thing. Like they're letting directors get away with
you're trying to use that as a reason as to why we are where we are, and I don't. No.
I'm just saying, like, if AI is not a factor or people don't believe it to be, look at how they're already handling big feature films that they're putting millions of dollars behind. They're letting directors go, "Hey, well, I don't want a script. I just want to go ad lib."
But that's on the executive producers. That's not on. That's not on Taika Waititi. Like
no. I'm not saying it's bad.
Run loose. Like that's on them.
I'm not at all disagreeing with his attempt at it or what, but I'm just stating like that they allowed that to happen. I'm gonna show this real quick so you guys can get an idea. Just to get an idea of what these guys were able to do, strictly based with a green screen and some computer shit. This is like an 8-man team. Looks like Castlevania Vampire Hunter D, dude. This is all AI.
Yo, this reminds me. Did you guys watch Visions on Disney Plus?
I'm actually currently watching Visions.
Are you what? How far are you guys along?
Episode 6.
I'm at 6 too.
Yeah, I got to the 3rd episode.
I'm at 6. Yo, Triggs, what did you think so far?
It's not as good as the first season.
Get that's
the same hand of cards.
This season is way better than last season, bro.
You're high, dude. Go microdose, Doug.
Nah,
go microdose.
Nah, dog. This is way better.
Honestly, man, I've only seen 2 episodes so far that have been really good.
The first season is so boring, bro. It's so
you're boring, dude.
Yo.
Guys,
dude, you're
it's
boring.
so boring, yo.
Guys, I just want you to know.
No one cares about this. What are you watching? What is this?
This is all AI. There's no animation. These are guys acting the role, and they just fill it into the film and say, "I want you to draw me as this character, but take this picture." There's no drawings here. There's no CG. There's no nothing. It's just them putting the video through AI and saying make it into an anime based on these animes.
The crazy part is this is still like an infant stage. Like this is gonna get better. This is if you turn it down, this is just an infant stage, bro. Like this is gonna get better, bro.
And it looks like Arcane, dude. It looks like almost like the way Arcane's made. But this looks exactly like Vampire Hunter D. In the back, like it looks like Vampire Hunter D. If I can read the slightest detail on your face, like I would watch it, and it's literally 2 dudes playing paper, rock, scissors. Yeah, and they're this isn't like it's so crazy to think that this isn't animated. This is acting.
Animation is honestly, that's more fathomable to me. Like, that's more obtainable. When you're talking about the writers and what you're talking about at this point, when you're incorporating AI, is like you're allowing AI to write an entire script for you, an entire series for you, an entire screenplay for you.
Oh yeah, I mean, I get that.
Like, but that is some wild shit, yo.
No, but I'm just saying, like, this is fucking wild, dude.
Yeah, no, this will definitely put animators out of a job.
Fuck, dude, this is like 80% of animators are out of business right now.
Yeah, so like, this is definitely putting animators out of a job. And then when you talk about the writers, I mean, I think it's very obtainable. That's putting writers out of a job. So when you're looking forward to the outcome of this strike, I mean, dude,
my thing is, if AI has, it's only been, it's like you said, it's in its infancy stage. AI to the public was only released openly with the whole Chat GPT, Mid Journey.
Are they shooting rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, that's all they're doing. They play rock, paper, scissors. That's literally what they're doing in this. The guy was like, I'm gonna make an anime based on rock, paper, scissors. But
yeah, but this is the kind of shit he gets off on.
Like, what the fuck are we watching?
You can't tell me that this isn't crazy, dude.
No, this is fathomable. Like, you AI creating an animation, that's I can understand that. When you're saying that the writers are going to be without a job and we're watching sitcoms or TV shows that are completely AI generated, to me that's a little bit more impressive than this.
Yeah, I mean, because of the fact that it's hard to convey like the emotional stature of human being consciousness, the way they relate, like the relatability of the human consciousness when it's psyche and speaking and it's mannerisms and things. AI won't be able to casually figure that out. But with this, what made it super crazy is most AI animations is there's like a stuttering effect that happens between frames of animation.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever seen that when you're watching and it looks real like a fever dream and the character's like kind of morphing. I don't know if you've ever seen that. These guys then wrote the code or actually asked ChatGPT, hey man, how do you stop animation in AI from rumbling and stuff? How do we make that clean? And it gave them the code. That means the moment that it had a problem, they fed the AI and the AI still gave them the answer to it, even though the AI was the problem. And they smoothed it out. It looks like that. Like it's amazing. It's amazing how far, if they're able to do animation at this quality in a home held project at a studio that doesn't have $1 million to its name for that. If they're able to get away with this, can you imagine if Disney approached them and was like, hey man, we really need to do 12 episodes for this series called Vision. Can you help us out?
And dump some money into that shit.
And here's $50,000.
Dump that Disney money into it. I'm telling you, like, it's in its infant stage, and it can only grow from there. So it's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I think it's fucking wild as shit. I'll just let it play.
And like George says, like, it's tech, bro. It's gonna come into the industry whether we like it or not. It's coming full steam ahead.
But you know what? That's interesting because when I was talking to you guys about this, we were off camera talking about it as our last part of the show, right? Before we go. And you had mentioned something about the guy that was like the AI of the Godfather.
Yeah, he calls himself the Godfather of
and what did this like? What is that statement? Like you said, like it's coming either way. But what did he say about it? And that's the dude that like kind of created it
down.
Yeah, he basically acknowledged the fact that well, first off, he quit. I think it was Google.
Yeah, Google.
He quit Google. And the reason why he quit Google as I think like a half owner, or he was way up there. He was really up there. And he said that the advancement wasn't supposed to take. It was supposed to take like 50 years. Right?
Yeah, these guys streamlined it by putting it into civilization.
Like the advancement that they initially started on, it was supposed to take them years and years to get to where they are or achieving quickly now, and it's scaring him. It's scaring him, and he said that basically, it's going too fast. AI is going to be running everything, and the reason why he quit is not so that he can bash Google, but it was more of the fact that he wanted to be able to speak freely of the dangers of AI and not hurt Google at the same time.
Oh, okay.
Like he's a guy with a conscience, and he basically said like, the reason that he kind of like once he realized it was getting a little bit out of hand, what made him cope with the fact that he was helping was the fact that he was saying to himself, if I don't do it, someone else will. Like if I'm not the one that's in this position, they're gonna find somebody else to do what I'm doing. So I might as well get some money out of it, right?
Yeah.
But now he's saying like, you know what, to hell with that. I don't need the money. And now he's saying like we're rapidly going to whatever destination we had set out for, but like half the time. And we'll be there soon.
Yeah, I mean, I have my reserves about the concept of AI in public and all this other stuff and how it's released into like civilian use. I think in the prospect of it being such a great tool to use, I think it makes a whole generation of people like ignorant because then they rely too much on the surface use of this to kind of like make it to where they climb to this faster. It was equivalent to like us
that's what any revolutionary technology.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was like when we got cell phones with screens.
Try living without your cell phone.
Yeah, no, I remember that shit. I'm not gonna lie, like I recall those times back in the day when it used to be just a flip phone, and then it changed to like a full ass phone, and then it changed to like a screen, a BlackBerry with a fucking pearl on it that you can scroll around and move your shit, and then it turned to straight up screen with no keyboard. Like I remember all that shit.
But we evolved with it. We've evolved with it.
On the cusp of it. Our generation was on the cusp of it.
Now we can't even figure out comprehend about it. Exactly. I think AI is gonna be the same thing.
I feel like in the next 10 years, the concept of AI is going to smother out a lot of like the internal skills that people get. And I think like the aspect, this goes all the way back. It's such a crazy concept. I know we're going over with it, but when they offer degrees at younger levels where kids can get like 3 or 4 degrees, I think it cheapens like the idea of just the bachelor, and it's going to be harder for us to find work in an attainable economy.
If this plays out the way that I think it's going to play out, the only people that are going to be able to survive in those fields that are going to get taken over are the ones that are going to figure out a way to improve the AI.
Mm-hmm.
Like
computer programmers and computer engineers and stuff.
I think, or even just the people that are being replaced by the AI itself. If they figure out a way, to improve the AI to make it function or run smoother, those are going to be the ones that are going to be able to have a job at the end of the day.
Kel, my man from YouTube, coming in with the Deadpool icon. We agree with you, man. We agree with you. But we do have our reserves. Brian had an opportunity to go see Guardians of the Galaxy, and he gave it an 8.5, and I trust Brian. I know you're new here. You don't really know us, and you're late to the party, and I get it. But we're going to go check it out, man. We're going to go check it out.
When are you guys going to see? Are you going to see it tomorrow? Or
I'm going to try to go see it probably Saturday, if not Wednesday. I want to try to see it Saturday midday. I want to try to go see it.
Are you going to hold off on it? Or are you going to see it like next weekend, or what are you going to do?
No, I'm going to try to see it Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
South Korea has the most advanced AI. Damn. That must be explained to me a little bit more, but Kel, I want to say thank you for jumping to the show. Kind of late. We're about to bounce off, man. We really appreciate you though. But every Friday night, if you got time, we don't know what part of the world you're from, but Central Time, Texas. That's where I'm from. We jump on here 9 p.m. here with the Average Boys podcast. Brian is from New Jersey. He's on the east side of the United States, up high. I say northeast, right? I guess that's the northeast.
It's the
yeah, that's what they call the Northeast. You're not from Florida. I'll fucking I'm saying that much. That's a crazy place. That's a crazy place. What time is it over there right now, Brian? It's 12 midnight, right?
It's about 15 past. Yeah,
about 15 past 12. So he's from the UK. Thank you for jumping on the podcast, man. That makes us super happy to know that you're from another part of the world. We love you, man. We hope you're being safe out there. And make sure you jump in with us next time, dude. We'll totally enjoy your comments and conversations and everything and the thing. Boys, I want to say thank you guys so much for being on the show. Brian, I know it's always a pleasure having you. We're going to try to evolve the show a little bit. We got some ideas that we're bouncing off of each other. Can't wait. Triggs, we hope you stay safe with that weather you got going on.
Yeah, yes, man, I hear the thunder going on and shit, man.
Yeah. Georgie Vasquez in our comment section. He's one of our boys. He says join the Discord if you have time. If you're on the internet, you like to be conversing with just friends in general, join us on our Discord. It gets wild. These guys are crazy, dude. Watch, I'll show you these dudes right now. If I go on there right now, the Discord is up. We're here. We have chit chats. We're always talking about Marvel movies, gaming, podcast talk. We have everything, anything you want. You just jump in during the week. You'll see the cast right here up on top. It's called The Average Boys Podcast, Boys with a Z. That's our logo. So if you guys ever catch on, jump in with us, man. During the week, drop memes, just jump into the conversation. We appreciate every one of you. Brian, Trigger, I hope you have a great weekend. We appreciate I appreciate you guys so much.
Yes. Appreciate it, fellas.
Yeah.
Great time as
boys,
always.
Everybody in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much to all our extraordinary listeners. We appreciate every one of you for jumping on with us every Friday night here on the Average Boys Podcast. We'll see you guys again here next week, 9 p.m. Central, here on the Average Boys. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, iTunes, Google, and all that fun stuff. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. Be loving, care about each other, and be nice. We'll see you guys again here next Friday. Peace.